Welcome everyone. Of course, it will take time on Twitch for people to come, but the recording's already going on. So hello, I'm Unknown. This is day 3. I've skipped yesterday. Welcome back to the stream. Today we are back with the Flash Ops Holiday Showdown. Well, this is no. I probably should change my title here. It's no longer the WDG qualifiers. Yes, we are doing the qualifiers, but we are a little bit beyond the qualifiers today. As I will kind of mention a little bit later, but we are covering Team Runaway today, and of course, we have my host, we have our co-host LaFawn, and today we have a new guest, Griffey. To just kind of introduce him a little bit, Griffey has been the player manager of the New York Excelsior, where I have been in 2023. Hey, Griffey, how have you been?
I've been doing great. How have you been doing, Unknown?
Well, I mean, busy as always, esports, overworked, no life balance, but still fun. And
I'm
all
great.
kind of all makes it worth it. So, what were you kind of up to after the season concluded?
Well, normal end of season packing up, getting ready from the end of the season, taking
Mm-hmm.
care of everything, getting everyone home. Once everyone got home and got settled in, I cleaned up the house and then came back down to Florida where my family is to spend a bit of time here during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a wedding coming up next week,
Ooh.
and yeah, that's pretty much how I've been spending my off season so far.
Yeah, so TLDR, some of the players that are in the Flash Ops right now should, all thanks to Tony, that they're home safe. Because they brought them home. No, well, credit for that. And LaFine, how have you been? I mean, it's been 2 days. It's been forever.
Yeah, I spent all day yesterday sleeping, so it's literally the same as the last time you heard me.
Okay, all good. And we have Possible in chat. How's the last couple of minutes doing? Did I miss anything wild? You have missed everything, my friend. You should probably go watch my VOD. No, it's just joking, but we had pretty fun. Day 2 wasn't as, all, I guess, goofy as so we definitely, the Smurfs were a little bit more of a serious face than the hamsters were, but it was fun overall. So let's talk about Runaway a little bit. Runaway, this has been a legendary team in well, not just contenders, but from the Apex region, right? So LaFawn, Griffey, tell me what all about there is for Runaway right now.
Man, I feel like an old man now, like talking about Runaway, because it's like there are people watching who have never watched Runaway when they were
Mm-hmm.
in the heyday of Korean contenders and like the Apex days. They were like one of the biggest names,
Mm-hmm.
especially like fan favorites. I mean, speaking of Runaway, they have the record of the longest tournament game in a finals in Overwatch, if my memory serves, right? 8 maps in a first of 4.
If I am not mistaken, that was in my university. It's all on university. It was against Panthera, Kongdu Panthera, if I'm
Yes,
not
yes.
mistaken. Yes. Yeah, that was fun. And Griffey, do you have anything to add on to Runaway? To introducing Runaway to our chat.
Honestly, if you just look at the Runaway roster throughout the years, they have
Mm-hmm.
had so many players that it's like the who's who of Overwatch. You just see so many big names have just at some point popped up on that team.
Mm-hmm.
All the way back from 2016 all the way to now. And it's really cool to see some of the players have just kind of stuck around, done their pro time, and then always just kind of bounce back to Runaway as their tier 2 team for
Mm-hmm.
all of the off-season tournaments.
Yeah. So Runaway, like Griffey mentioned, has been a cradle for a lot of great, I guess, players, and also, has a lot of history. And this iteration of Runaway that we're gonna see is the second, I guess, the second generation of Runaway that we've been enjoying. So after the first generation of Runaway went to the Vancouver Titans, this is going to be the second generation of Runaway that was mainly active throughout most of 2019 and early 2020. This roster has been together for a full year and has 2 contenders championships, well, trophies under the belt. But okay, let's stop talking about how good these teams are, because we have a lot of matches to cover, and let's just get straight to the games.
We have to wonder, something we haven't had to talk about with Runaway for a really long time is the odd season curse or odd year curse.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that comes back to play?
Well, you should probably kind of walk us through the curse a little bit.
All right, so there's no statistical evidence to this, right? It's just kind of a fun little thing. Runaway has never won a championship or a title or a tournament in odd years.
That's true. Because they won everything in 2020 in this iteration of this roster.
Yeah, 2018, 2020 were their championship years.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, they haven't had much time together in odd years. Have they?
That's true too. I mean, that's why it's not statistically relevant, but it is funny to kind of highlight.
Yeah. If you look composition-wise, we're seeing a lot of, I guess, Overwatch League alumni teams go with the Doofus composition, especially in this map. Like, what's going on? No Sigma?
The thing that's tough to kind of highlight, right, is that, like, we don't know if there's no Sigma because teams just don't want to play Sigma, right? Or if Doomfist is actually just straight up better in the current patch, right? Because, like, obviously, like, the only evidence we have is contenders, like the last season of contenders I played, and World Cup, right? I can't play Sigma. That's the answer. Hey, Avril.
Hey,
but
Avril.
it's not just Runaway. It's like every Overwatch League team that has played. Even teams with supposedly good Sigmas have not played. Like when Hunden was playing, they didn't really play Sigma that much.
Yeah, I think right now Sigma is a little bit more slower composition and is like particularly more effective against the Orisa composition that we've been mentioning a few days ago. And in particular, I really don't like the Sigma paired up with the Tracer. Because, well, of course, if you've been watching my previous streams, my reasoning was that the Tracer had to go to a lot of the sidelines, and then usually, maybe in this map particularly, like you said, like LaFawn mentioned, the blink it can just be enough for making elevation differences. But in most maps, it's really hard for Tracer to go to the side lanes and make a difference because it's really hard to provide resources, healing resources to that Tracer unless you have to full commit the Brig with you. In this case, Off is actually following the Tracer around. And this is Yaki with the blade. Wait, excuse me. Sorry. There you go.
It's Nano Blade at 2023. It's not going to get any kills.
Well, okay.
Reading the future.
This is actually pretty good for
I unironically think that nanoing Dragon Blade is like a bad choice now because it's a waste of 2 ultimates.
So you would prefer nanoing the Sojourn with the Overclock?
I think nanoing anything. The reason why I think Dragon Blade has kind of devolved back into that phase where it was like used to like get support ults out, like way back in like what was it, like 2019-ish. I think Dragon Blade has kind of fallen prey to that unless you're like one of the elite Dragon Blade players.
That's fair. Honestly, in current Overwatch, my favorite use of Nano is just the Nano Monkey cycle. Nano Monkey at 50%, have him charge ult, Monkey primals. By the time that's down, Nano's back up. Just keep cycling it through to always try and maintain space.
Nice.
Outside of that, using Nano for like Nano Blade kills, like LaFawn said, I honestly think it's kind of a waste of 2 ultimates in current Overwatch.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Unknown was saying this off air. really happy about the Gangnam Jin flex support, my friend, aren't you?
Exactly. So I've been waiting to talk about that point right now because remember, look, I love my New York days, but I love to see my boy Gangnam Jin on flex support duty rather than in like Lucio jail. Yes, main support is a very important role, but we could give that to Lee Jae-gon. He is the Brig slash Lucio guy, and I mean, I love like. I think Gangnam Jin shines the most when he's actually on flex support and is very aggressive because he is capable of those kind of plays and he plays very smart around it. So I'm really happy to see. Oh, my boy, but okay. I say one good thing about Gangnam Jin and he dies, but I still think that I really love to see him back on flex support. So it's overtime, final. Can they touch? No. So first round goes to ADW. We haven't talked about the match like a lot, to be honest. We've been talking a little bit like off the sides for a little bit, but I think ADW. We've talked about this team before. They are a group of contenders, like I guess mid-table contenders, team players, and they're actually playing pretty well on their strengths. What I've noticed is that. Like I've tried to pick out. I try to like kind of like talk about the Tracer in this composition. How Tracer usually don't get a lot of resources from this team, like in this compositions particularly. But what I've seen is that Off as the Brig just follows the Tracer around a lot and tries to give that much needed resource to like I guess give Tracer enough pressure to push her to give enough pressure to the opposition. So I think this is actually pretty working out.
And I really like the Brig pick with the Tracer, because Briggs just throws the packs, fire and forget, Tracer can go off and do her thing. It's one of the better combinations that works with Tracer in my opinion, because it's just a fire and forget heal. You don't actually have to spend time. It's literally like, you know, 5 frames of hitting the button, then you're back to doing your Brig stuff. You don't actually have to dedicate that time and space like you would necessarily with other supports. The same thing with having the Ashe as the flex support there, or not the Ashe, the Ana. Just cross-map heals, don't actually have to reposition. So they're using the Tracer, but not actually dedicating nearly as many resources as most teams would have to in order to make it work.
Yeah, that sounds fair. And we are having a Mag Reinhardt here. I think that Alpha would agree that he definitely knows how to play this character, but this is basically a exact mirror song except for the tanks. LaFon, how do you think about this matchup?
I mean, the one thing this is all about how well you can keep your Rein like in the actual fight with the teleporter. Because like if you can get in behind the Sigma shield, right? Sigma becomes somewhat. Oh, that's nice. Kind of, and you can see like Durham is like lost.
So, I think this kind of comes with our conversation that we've been seeing a lot of Ramatra / Rush against this kind of a sort of Sigma that we've been seeing in the World Cup as well. Team Finland going using the Ramatra against this Sigma composition of Team South Korea. I think
in the playoff too, right? Where Florida Mayhem in the grand finals, you know, that was the switch up, right? Switch the Reinhardt to kind of deal with the Sigma.
I think also compare like if you okay, so blizzards on both sides, a good counter blizzard from Yaki to prevent a lot of damage because Dart used that blizzard first and I think it was a pretty good blizzard, but the Yaki blizzard, counter blizzard was there to kind of zone off everyone on the side of ADW so that it didn't, like, there was no follow-up damage. But coming back to your point, coming back to the point of the Rush versus the Sigma composition, I think that, like, even with the Mei, that if both Mei's wall, I think Ryan has a little bit more pressure damage on that other enemy tanks. And so it works out. And I think ADW recognizes this because they swapped to the Doofus composition.
I mean, they subbed. Oh, wow. Oh, actually, that's a pretty good
sound barrier.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to make a difference, but.
So, kind of. Oh, I would say that ADW kind of like, not like single-handedly, but they easily won round one. So they're taking like easy rounds each. Maybe because of maybe I'll say. comp mismatchups.
Mismatchups. I also think that this map set is pretty snowbally, and its retake is a little bit more difficult on these maps.
Yeah, I also don't think that AW's had much experience playing against the Rush. With the
Clearly, they haven't played against the London Spitfire.
I mean, yeah, but like even beyond that, I'm trying to think. As a contenders team, right, they would have played in that last patch, or a lot of these players would have played in that last patch where Sigma was really good, or like that Zarya patch rather. We didn't have any Rush teams that season.
We did not.
And yeah, I mean, the Winston is going to be. I don't think the Winston actually has much success here.
Well, like, my initial thought was that I think it was going to be good against the Genji, right? Usually, we normally think that, like, against the Genji composition, a Winston would be a little bit more effective, but in this case, not so much, I guess.
I mean, the big thing, right, is, like, the Genji doesn't need to... Oh,
Nice, clean. Man,
the thing is, the Genji doesn't need to play, like, anywhere where the Winston is, and the Winston gets displaced by 3 players, plus poke from Tracer and Ana. We're actually going to get full mirror, though, as Mag goes over to the Winston himself.
I think that's a little bit of the ego confidence thing, right? Because
Yeah, that...
I don't necessarily think Back had to change to the Winston, but it's like, hey, if you guys are going to play this, I can play this better than you guys.
I totally agree. I think it's a big ego mirror pick right there. Especially after
Also,
the first pick.
counterpoint, Winston, smile.
I love this Gangnam Jin Ana. That very first push, Doomfist just dives straight into the room with 3 or 4 in there, and Ana just runs in, just guns blazing, throwing nades, clearing the room with the Doomfist. I love to see that aggression.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think that's like one of the really biggest reasons that Lee Jung on Gangnam Jin was like really hyped up as one of the best support duos in contenders during the Runaway days, right? And also like in their respective roles in the Shanghai Dragons and the Florida Mayhem, I think that kind of aggression that Gangnam Jin showed was proof that like there were really good supports.
Not bad. First fight, only 5. It's actually gonna be really tough to hold this now from AW. Statistically, like they used a lot to get in for that. Right?
Yeah.
That was 3 ults, and it was effectively you're gonna come back in with sustain with the primal, and then damage with both pulse and overclock. And actually, speaking of overclock, highlighting Hisu, a player that has had a very interesting tier 1 career, right? A very, very hyped up coming out of contenders, rightly so, right? He was really, really strong mechanically. Really good on Fusion too. Second to Carpe, nice. Like, I mean, and then has had just a really rocky, odd odd career since then.
Good sleep from Nrong there.
No! Don't come back! Who's out of this?
Oh.
Oh, the classic monkey.
Oh my god. This monkey's not touching the ground.
Surf style.
Well, like you said, LaFon, ADW used a lot of resources, a lot of ultimates there on the fight to take that point, and Runaway just even saved the nano so they will be ready for that potential last fight territory because they are approaching 88%, and this is ADW. They have to first touch and then they have to win the fight, which is going to be a very uphill fight for them.
I mean, the only way you win this fight if you're ADW is you pick up the Minute has to find like a crazy headshot, and he's not going to because the monkey's in his face.
A nano monkey there. Yes, Mag is going to fall. However, he did his part. The damage was done by the side of AW, and Runaway is going to take Samoa, and that is 1-0 for Runaway. What's your first impression on Runaway, guys?
For me, that 50% ult charge off of the nano, it was perfect. I love to see it. Honestly, Runaway looking coming into map 1 of Oasis as if they were a little lost, needed a little bit of warm up, but I think once they got their feet under them, they cleaned up and they just ran through the last 2 maps pretty cleanly. I would honestly be surprised to see anything different in map 2, but we'll see what happens.
All right, LaFawn, how did you kind of like feel about map 1, Samoa here?
I mean, this is a team that, as expected, I think. Gangnam Jin back on comfort. Hisu given space to actually operate. Poor guy last season, Shanghai Dragons. That was tough. That was tough to watch. And Yaki too, actually, who had a up and down last couple of years. I think back to being comfort.
Yeah, good point, Alvaro. I was about to say, so Mag so how do you feel about this team not being able to play the Sigma composition? Like, will it be their downfall, or will would this team have enough talent to, like, I guess, hey, go play Sigma, we'll play the Reinhardt to counter it, or the Ramatra maybe even, if needed?
It entirely depends on how much Korea refuses to play Sigma. Like, legitimately, right? Because, like, so far, teams have been handshaking playing dive, counter dive. Unless you're like a team like ADW, who are, on the up and up and are not, in that tier 1 aspect, right? But no, Avral's 100% correct. Right? Like, that's the big issue about this team. So if Korea through Flash Ops decides to continue playing dive, they have an opportunity. But if at any point a team counter picks against them with players that have bigger hero pools, they're going to struggle because of the nature of this patch.
Okay, interesting to know. And Groom, what put you over there? I was looking away at chat for a second, and then he dies over there. That's going to be a little more stagger for the side of ADW. This time I don't have to change the team names on blue side and red side. So that gives me a little bit more time. So I think the idea of ADW is that they want to teleport their entire team. They want to I guess they kind of like want to TP in the point to kind of make it a fight. And they want, but I think Team Runaway should have enough mobility to kind of thwart that.
I'm watching a comp that's supposed to play together with 4 of their players playing like halfway across the map from each other.
Exactly. Oh, that's a second Nano Blade. 1, 2. Okay, so that's. Oh yeah, I'll be very honest here. That was just a solo queue, Dragon Blade. Like,
I mean, it was a solo queue push from ADW. One play deserves another. I'm not gonna listen. I ain't hyping up. I ain't hyping that up.
All right, but they do. ADW do have an opportunity now. Runaway had to use several ults. Surprisingly, they only have the rally to defend, whereas ADW has a. Oh, that was an absolutely disgusting nade. I am going to see that again.
Let's rewatch that one.
Oh!
What is this angle from the Ana though?
Guys, scout your corners.
Okay, look, I'm going to see this one again on the receiving end.
Okay, so I think this play right here really showcases the difference between teams with T1 experience and players without. Because ADW since frame 1 of this match has been just trying to force TP plays. So Ana just takes the aggressive position past the train because knows they're just going past him anyways.
Here's okay. Can we go back a little? This has turned into a VOD review. That's fine. Let's go back to pause the start of the play right here. At no point they are so focused on their attempt. At no point do they realize 4 people are playing in close, looking for a push. When you have 4 of the opposing team that you can scout via audio and your eyes, and you're not paying attention for a bait play, this is like you're making excuses for them at the tier 1 level. This is a bad read from a team that should know better.
Well, I think this is an instance of trying to force your game plan without adapting to the game.
Yeah, so they have something in their program, but they just not adapting to the situation.
Exactly, right? Like Anna's off on herself. You're in that position. Just reevaluate the situation and don't force that push. But that was
It
that
is a
was
nice combo though from the Genji and the Doomfist.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think
Like
I think
Runaway
they also gets
punished
done by
really well.
Lee Jae-gon.
And they do, yeah. So no ultimates on the side of Runaway. AEW do have a lot of ultimates on their hands. Only Ganonjin there. Lee Jae-gon falls first. So both supports down on the side of Runaway. Is this going to be the final? Is this finally going to be the cap that AEW was looking for? Maybe yes. Yaki Mag and he's still alive. He's very low. Yaki follows suit, and I think it should be that cap, despite all the good efforts on the defense side of Runaway. AEW does manage to find a cap and extend this map a little bit. Well, I mean, overall good play. I think Gurm took the was a good ult overall on this and good follow-up damage.
Yeah.
Lee Jae-gon fell
Actually,
first, surprisingly.
And I think I forgot what the ult looks like. Bastion ult, what it looks like when you're in the overhead. That is very funny.
Okay, Runaway regained control of the high bridge over there, high ground on the bridge over there. So it should be a little bit of an uphill fight for the side of AEW. There is Hisu's overclock. Yes, the photon barrier is there, but it will not save Nog. It will not save Dart. It will not save AEW. So this is all going back and have to total reset. Yes, they use Dart's photon barrier, but Hisu says no. Go back to your hole. Alright, so 1 minute and 50 seconds. So we are approaching sub 2 minutes on AEW's attack.
I mean, we're gonna see a whole host of changes here from AEW as well. They actually expend resources in that fight and aren't able to get anything from it. It's a little unfortunate.
This time it is... Oh, what just happened there? So this time it is not going to be the Nano Blade. It is going to be the Nano Doomfist. Minute falls, so likely AEW has to fall back, and another good nade from Ganonjin forces the deaths of Groom and Off, and it once again Runaway with just one ultimate. That's ult efficiency if I've ever seen one.
Hello.
It is going to be very difficult for AEW.
Yeah, I mean AEW now is in a very similar position to Samoa, right? Where it is you're going to last fight with almost nothing.
Well, I guess maybe Groom's Sclerotic Flux, maybe. Still, it doesn't look very easy. Gravitic Flux, I don't think it found anyone. And it is actually Narong who's falling. Golemjun very, very low. But Mag dives in with Yaki as well. Takes care of it, takes care of Off. And this is going to be yet another team fight win for the side of Runaway.
20 seconds. Oh yeah, this is now. I mean, AEW are going to try and force their issue. I don't think they can even really get in unless...
I don't think they can even touch. They're trying to, like, keep their spawns.
I mean, they should be able to touch theoretically, but Dart is the one who needs to be there first, and he's not getting there, and they're losing players in the meanwhile.
Oop. No Dart.
No.
Dart's denied, so that's no touch.
No touch.
I am not even going to call this a C9. This is not. Like,
Yeah.
so Kevin and Epsilon, yes, Korean time. It is going to be December 2nd for the... There's only going to be a Korean cast for this, but you are definitely free to co-stream if you wish. And Kevin, I humbly ask you to come join us at some point for the shenanigans that we're doing here.
The Smurfs lost by losing more maps than they won.
Expert analysis, PhD material. So, I think AEW is like okay, scrap this. We're not going to play the Sigma, which is kind of surprising because usually what we've seen a lot on Midtown is that we've seen a lot of defensive Sigmas, and then we've seen a dive, or I guess on the offensive side of things. But I guess ADW thinks different.
Yeah, here's my frustration with like flash ops with like the frustration's a bit of a strong word. In terms of like analyzing setups for flash ops, qualifiers in early groups are tough or early knockouts are tough because
Attackers incoming.
like when we were watching Hamster, right? Even when they were playing like against the Smurfs, right? In the early days, they clearly weren't going like 100%. And it's tough to really draw conclusions when, teams are not playing 100% optimally because, for whatever reason.
Ooh. So we're seeing Ashe on both sides. What would you say? Why would you pick Ashe over Sojourn, especially in this meta right now?
Why would you pick Ashe over Sojourn?
That is a good question.
When I find a reason, I'll get back to you.
I guess it makes a little bit sense on this, like, the side of Runaway. If you expected the Echo to be there.
Yeah, I think that's a fair estimation. But like defensively, I don't know what the Ashe brings that the Sojourn doesn't also bring. Maybe Dynamite.
Ashe also brings against Monkey. I think Ashe is better than Sojourn simply for denying Monkey space. Monkey jumps in, you coach gun, Monkey can't hold high ground.
Yes.
I mean, like right here, Monkey jumped up to high ground, coach gun knocked him off. I know that it's one of the reasons why it's taken. It might not be the reason, in this particular match. I know a lot of players do prefer Ashe into Monkey versus Sojourn, simply for the coach gun. Slide is also nice, but coach gun buys you space without having to, like, it relocates the Monkey and you, not just you.
Oh, their ADW is actually committing. They are using the nano, and they are actually reaping the rewards the minute, firing a lot of clicking a lot of heads. Groom on a sliver of hell. How is he even alive? He is not anymore. Okay, excuse me. Sorry. Ooh, Hisu's on fire, but minute is very low, so he needs to go back for healing. We do not know how this fight is going to go yet because both sides are actually back in the body. Legion God takes down two. I don't know how he does that in such quick succession. Mag is back to save Gonamjin from I don't know what, but Legion God still has a rally, so maybe if necessary he is going to use that for taking the point. He may not even need to use it because off is going to be down, and that only one tick remaining, so that is going to be point A for a Runaway.
Objective lost.
Whoa! I really like the patience from Runaway there on that point take. To just reset in the room, not force the issue, let them come to them, because they had the space. They knew that ADW needs to retake, so that was really good patience from Runaway there.
Also really greedy from ADW to try and push into a small corridor without support.
Yaki very low. He needs support. He doesn't need one because he has the recall. Groom is forced to pop the primal because he was pressured and did not have the support on. Oh, that is public. Groom. I thought that was gonna take Groom out, but not so. Gonamjin has the nano, but Mag is nanoed. Antied, excuse me, and Lee Jagon was down and has to come back from spawn, so they are taking things a little bit slower. But I think this turn, Runaway has a lot of options. They have the nano monkey, maybe even the nano brig if they necessarily have to. It is going to be the nano monkey for the choice of Gonamjin. However, Mag is taking a nap here, so Runaway is using two more ultimates. It is going. Okay, they're committing, but it looks like they're trading one by one. But slowly but steadily, Runaway is taking the lead in this fight, and because no much ground to cover. Excuse me. It is gonna be the end. Wow.
Well, that ended in a whirlwind very quickly.
That was like a pretty extended fight because I want to go to a little bit earlier to the fight. I think it goes all the way here, right? No.
Yeah, Dart was doing a lot of work, but unfortunately, at the end, the two supports standing next to each other.
It's really interesting to see how different teams kind of like run their Brig differently, because yesterday we've seen the Brig being at like almost like a off tank position, right? So, but I think Lee Jae-gon's a little bit. I think he's kind of jumping in between being both like Gangnam-jin's bodyguard and then like all the way far up in the frontal rows, like swinging his mace and just like taking out two people. Which was one of the reasons that Runaway capped point A. So it's really interesting to see how like they run the Brig in this kind of situation. Ooh, okay, that was game one. That was just one match, and
I think Brig has been the longest or most frequent support character show up in Overwatch 2, like in terms of like meta effectiveness. If my math is correct, right? Because she was like, she was in Jotes. Stupid name.
yeah, the Lucia Brig.
Yeah, but that was mostly because she could like stack heals like on for all the reasons that she was in
Was
Goat,
that back
she
when
there too.
Inspiration covered the whole map?
No, but there wasn't really anyone who could play in close with Junker Queen like Brig could.
3, 2, 1. Round 1.
Oh, by the way, Avril, this is not just like a day or thing. We're just running a team, so we're going like for Runaway, we're gonna cover all the matches that Runaway played, like hand-picked matches from Runaway that we think is worth watching. So that means for today we're gonna cover the Runaway match that was done today as well. So it depends on which team you want to cover. And by the way, this is Last Flame. This is also another team that is mostly contenders players. I think everyone's has contenders experience. Wait,
Yes. Although
That was hilarious.
although Last Flame is a very young roster, even in Contenders time.
I do want to single out Ruler here because to WDG, Ruler is a very I guess special player because he's he's one of our school tournament alumni. So he started his career in the WDG school tournament, and then he got picked up by SLT, and that was how another great nade by Gangnam-jin.
Man.
Poor man.
Can you believe this guy was playing Lucio all of last year?
Yes.
I hate you, Lafon.
Can I believe it? Yes. Do I like it? Even less.
And he didn't just play Lucio just in 2023. He played Lucio Brig in 2022 and with a New York Excelsior as well.
Who was his support partner back then?
Myeonbong.
Right. Okay.
Wait, I want to his nades are so dirty. Wait.
Well, he actually just straight up walks at them. That's so funny.
He knows where the TP's gonna be, to be fair.
Yeah.
He decided to save Yaki instead of Lee Jae-gon.
In fairness, the calculus made sense because Lee Jae-gon was in the middle of rally.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not trying to...
I would say Nano Rally. I know a lot of big players love that.
I'm not trying to throw shade. I love these players, guys, but I also think that Lee Jae-gon was not not in line of sight.
You know, I'll say it. Brink players should have get Nano.
Alright, Yaki is acknowledging to his teammates that he has the Nano. Oh, well, he has the Blade, rather. And he looks like he's going in. He's looking for the perfect opportunity. There is... He took down a drone. And even despite the best efforts of Spinel, he does take down Jinsong, which is pretty important. But Mag falls as well, and Lee Jung falls as well. So it is a unfavorable numbers trade against Runaway. So Last Flame will be able to keep that point control. And with Flux, early Flux here, Gangnam Jin needs to stay alive if Runaway wants to retake the point, but it is going to be an uphill fight for the side of Runaway. Gangnam Jin is down. Oh, but Ruler is down. So it might be a little bit of hope for the side of Runaway. It is approaching last fight territory. Jinsung takes out Hisu Mag. This is a this is like kills going everywhere. Yaki trying to find kills as he can. He does. He finds Jinsung. He finds Spinel, and this might be it. This might be what's just needed for Runaway to take that point, flip that point, and will do so. Whew.
Man, the watching Ruler and Spinel try to take down Lee Jae on 2v1 and then have the rest of the team die in the backline is very funny.
Well,
I actually think this is jokes aside, this is actually a really good setup for Runaway. They should be able to close this round out with ease. Even with Blizzard and Photon Barrier, because of the mobility, I don't expect anyone to get frozen, and then you kind of come in with Rally to kind of close out and negate the sustainability of this.
And then you also have the overclock, like Hisu just... Oh, did I just curse that? No, please don't say I've cursed that. And then finally, this time the Nano Brig is there, not frozen, is doing a lot of work, did take down a kill, and is sustaining a lot of the players on the side of Runaway. Yes, Gangnam Jin fell, however, like the Brig hitting people does a lot of sustain.
One of the things. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. One of the things. So Symmetra's Photon Barrier is actually it's a really strong ultimate. But its big effect in this particular setup is being damage mitigation rather than like space control, because of the mobility of a lot of the players on Runaway. So you essentially use Rally to negate the effect of the damage mitigation. Right? It ends up being a trade that favors the mobility team more. And then once you basically, simple arithmetic, balance the sides. If those two cancel each other out, the team that has more resources is going to win, and Runaway have like everything they need in that final moment. And you're not going to get kills with Blizzard because, again, the mobility of that team is just too high to actually freeze anyone out.
I guess the most you can freeze is just the Ana, maybe Gangnam Jin's Ana, probably. And that's probably not going to... And with the resources that Runaway had, it's not going to be enough.
Especially because the Gangnam Jin got the Nano out, right? And so it's even... The Ana's job is done.
Oh! Wait, what?
What? That's so funny. That's Lee Jae I think he thought he was gonna shield bash into someone and like it stopped, but Mag punched them too far and fell off the map. Yeah, it's exactly what he tried to do.
Oh dear,
no.
That was on Mag.
That's so funny.
Somebody clip that, please. When the VOD comes out. Oh my god.
Listen, you live by the Lee Jae God, you die by the Lee Jae God.
That was so funny.
Oh my god, that was amazing. That's like booping a life weaver that's pulling somebody.
Oh, that's also pretty funny. That would have been tragic. Tragically funny. Ooh, wait. That hit Jinsong? That's actually, I mean, it might not look like it's really like important, but I think it delayed the push a little bit, and
yeah, like what is it, 4 seconds? It's basically that's a significant amount of time.
Oh, another sleep, but it's probably not going to take out Ruler. He had but another good nade, and like it makes me sad because the more good nades that Gangnam Jin has on Ana just makes me feel sad. Like, yes, I'm happy for him, It
What
just
could
makes
have
me sad.
been?
What could have been?
Yeah, but think of all the Gangnam Jin jokes we got with him on Lucio for so long.
Oh, please.
As a non-NYXL fan, that's a trade I'm willing to make.
You are talking with two former New York Excelsior managers.
I'm here.
You're a hostile territory. Oh, Mag, that was good.
I'm here to balance things out for the viewers.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm tired of your bias.
Okay.
Oh god.
Well, that was a lot of ults.
That was a party in the hallway.
I mean, it's also last fight, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Oh, and
Then
with
now-
Spinel down, that there's nobody to touch.
Yeah.
Scarlet. Oh, poor Scarlet. Oh, they're partying too. They know that it's. All right, pretty fun match. Highlight of this match: Lee Jigon. I don't care what you think. I don't care how good your analysis is. The highlight of this match was Lee Jigon bashing into his death.
I don't know. For me, it's the mag punch that baits him.
Yeah, that's also pretty funny. The Gon and Lee Jae Gon is entirely like him throwing himself off the map.
Mm-hmm. That was. It gave me a good laugh. Finally, I'm just gonna love Last Flame for not picking Midtown.
Unknown dislikes New York confirmed.
Well, not if you see it every single map.
No. I say this. I am a notorious Kings Row hater. For the same reason. In early Overwatch days, it was always picked. Like literally had 100% pick rate. And so I soured on that map awful quick. There was one tournament I was commentating in, I want to say like 2017, where it was an 8-hour broadcast, which thankfully doesn't happen anymore. Or sorry, not 8. It was 12 hours a broadcast. Every match on that day had Kings Row.
Well, that was yesterday for us. Oh my god. Gangnam Jin.
Sword for your wound. One.
From the top row.
Defend.
Oh.
Man, I want to see more of those nade setups from players.
Mhm.
Like the nade at 8 seconds straight into the air so it times right as they're walking out.
Mhm.
Like the CSGO setups.
Yeah.
There's a few of them that are actually useful rather than just
Yeah.
jump generation.
I mean that the map that you hate, Lafon, King's Row. Well, when you attack and you just throw it at the high ground, and they just that single nade can just force you off the high ground.
Another reason why Kings Row is terrible.
Hisu is on the Ashe, and we've seen a lot of good moments from Hisu's Ashe, especially even in this struggling Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, Curry T.
Yeah, the one thing about the Ashe in this setup specifically that I don't necessarily like, I mean, defensively it's fine, especially because you have a lot of high ground, easy access. But I think against a Sigma Ashe, or Sigma Sojourn specifically, you can't duel anybody, right? And your kill potential is very, very low. And it's really easy to isolate. So you do generate resource with, the Dynamite, but again, there's AoE healing on the offensive side. And I just don't think you do anything that any other like viable hit scan doesn't also do better.
Okay. And speaking of which, we've been kind of like missing out on the action a little bit, but that was a very early point A cap from Last Flame. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gangnam Jin was taken down early, and then Mac tried to still contest E when Gangnam Jin was not back, and there was only Lee Jing-on to provide heals for Mag, and I think just the lack of sustain kind of like made it all fall apart. And it's a Genji matchup, but Lee Jing-on says, wait, I don't care about your 1v1 traditions. I am just gonna give a mace to the face to you guys.
Least tilt-inducing Brig player.
Look, Lee Jing-on...
It sounds like I hate on Brig players. I play Brig a lot.
Mag going very deep into enemy territory. We have a
I think they're playing for
Hisu Widowmaker here.
Yeah, I think they're playing for an anti/nano play here. Anti's block. That's a good one by Ruler. Yeah, there's the nano.
Oh, Yaki pinged that so he could get the nano, but he didn't. Get the nano.
Tragic.
Woo. Yeah.
Something to note too, right, is that in this setup of the Sigma versus Doomfist here,
Oh. Uh-huh.
the Sigma is really good against Bastion specifically, right? In terms of like
That,
damage mitigation.
that's how it got into the meta.
Yes. One of the things that made Doomfist like struggle in this against the Sigma matchup when we've seen is that the Bastion specifically is really good at forcing the Doomfist to make inopportune choices. I'm not necessarily convinced that's the case with the Sojourn Genji hybrid into the Sigma.
Okay, we have a lot of shenanigans going on into the Nexus. Legion Gun, very bloodthirsty. A lot of ultimates invested on both sides. So the rally from both sides, the Dragon Blade from both sides, even the window from Jinsong was depleted. However, it's Runaway that is stabilizing things, and if I understand Runaway's aggression correctly, they will be spawn camping. They will be going on the frontal defense here. So far, Hisu not making too much value out of the Widowmaker so far. I don't think I've seen any headshot kills register so far, but we've seen what this guy can do. Am I cursing him? Maybe.
Actually, you know, the funny thing is, we really see Widow find success in flash ops from hamsters, right? When it was that hyper first game with Chio priming off the map and Fearless fanned the hammering.
Oh yeah, it's that was also a very interesting topic as well. There's the Nano Mag. It looks like for today, Mag is getting the favor of Gangnam with these nanos today. He is basically 2v3ing rather. Yaki is like, although he's not like necessarily like just doing super flashy plays, I think a lot of credit has to go to him because he's following up a lot of the damage that all the targets that Mag is diving. So like Mag with the Doomfist, like of course he's not a DPS anymore. So any dive target will probably need a little bit more follow-up damage in order to register that kill, and Yaki's just doing his job perfectly. And I think Last Flame is getting a little bit frustrated of the Doomfist because they got the Sombra.
After stun comes out, I mean, would it be bad to? It would actually be pretty decent, I think, to go for a Gravitic Flux in this 2 front line right now. But you're gonna let him get away.
I think Ruler's just looking for the backline specifically, like the support line. Because Gangnam Jin is being very, very, I guess, irritating like in Last Flame's perspective. Oh wait.
Oh.
And I think just Gangnam Jin is just like a priority target for any member of ADW Last Flame right now. Good
Nice.
pulse. Good pulse. And that's going to take away a lot of sustain on the side of Runaway. Lee Jae-gon knows this, so he is using the rally to provide that extra support. It is approaching potentially last fight territory for the side of Last Flame. Yaki taking down Jinsong, also taking down Spinel. There's not much time for Last Flame. And I don't think there's anyone to touch.
The big play there.
Oh, the
Gangnam Jin sleeps Ruler mid flux. That would have turned the fight if that knockdown had come through, because I don't think Yaki would have survived to get those eliminations. Last Flame standing around, just doing nothing. They're waiting for an opportunity to show itself.
I think again, especially against a team of Runaway's caliber, you have to make your own fortune, not wait for it.
I mean, I think the idea there is to use the Gravitic Flux as a counter to the Blade. Right? You don't want the Blade kind of coming in for eliminations, I guess, because you don't have support utility to defend against it. But you end up just waiting too long, and you lose your opportunity to punish the players. Keep in mind, like Hisu was in Last Flame's spawn on Widowmaker, right? And effectively out of the fight for the majority of that, and you still can't really turn a 4v5. It feels like you're waiting for something to happen rather than, you know, as you said, make your own opportunities.
Yep. Especially like you said, LaFine, the Gravitic Flux can be used like in a variety of ways. You can use that to kind of like thwart the offenses of the opponent, or you can just make that as a playmaking opportunity for the rest of the team to follow up. Especially because if you have like Scarlet on the Tracer or the Genji, there will be follow-up damage that will be able to make those eliminations happen. So we'll see how it goes. Legion on the Mercy duty. Gangnam Jin back was on. Okay, everyone's swapping now. They just were looking for what Last Flame was doing, and they're just back to their original roles, except for the fact that Hisu is now on the bow sniper instead of the rifle sniper. I guess in a compositional sense, this has a little bit more value than the Widowmaker, in a sense that you can also just kind of like I just melt the barrier down. But not okay. Scarlet thinks otherwise, and although Ruler did fall, oh okay, they're evening the odds here. Gangnam Jin is there, so it's not like they're going to they're not in total shortage of healing. I think Mag wants to commit a little bit, and a good nade once again by Gangnam Jin, and Yak can follow up. The synergy, they have been on different teams for a while, but the synergy is still there, LaFine.
I mean,
I love the immediate follow-up.
Yes.
It's not just the nades that he's hitting, it's the capitalization that they're getting on the nades that's actually making a big difference here.
The big problem with these staggers, I like, weirdly enough, I actually don't hate the idea of going for rally there. If you can try and turn a couple of picks, because of the staggers that are going to come in, you're going to get halfway through this point before the actual fight happens, and you lose high ground positioning, right? So you have to work harder to get, you know, essentially the same level of value.
So that
I don't hate them having to use those resources.
Okay. On normal terms, though, you would want to, like, you know, you would usually say you would want to save these resources, but you want to delay their advance to the high ground as much as possible, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, because, like, look how much they have to invest to get to the high ground here, right? It's window, and they're still gonna lose it. Yeah, it's just a really tough place to be. I don't think it's like here's the thing. It's not a good choice, right? But it's not a choice that they were able to make on their own terms. This is one that was forced based on the performance of the defense.
And look, Gollum just playing Euro Truck Simulator. What a fun game! And they're already they're already up to the point. They don't even need the Dragon Blade. Oh, he's just using it for fun.
Bob, do something.
Well, Gangnam Jin. Okay.
Super unlucky. I mean, that's the sometimes you have to think about like the maps, like logistics, and unfortunately there it just doesn't favor Last Flame like at all, right? So.
I think, like you said, LaFine, like the rally that the that Spinel, if I'm not mistaken, Spinel used on like for the stagger on point A. Like, yes, it had good intentions. I understand why he would like use it, right? But I think he needed that to kind of stall for next fight, especially because there wasn't too much ground to, I guess, concede after point A.
Yeah, it's not a great choice. But it's one that's kind of forced because you weren't able to capture, you know, the second. And then the way you lose the fight is also important. We often see teams like they'll suicide onto the point to make sure that they all die together, so that when they reset, it's resetting as 5 and they're able to come, you know, collect. That doesn't happen. So you need to try and take one with you, but that also doesn't happen. So the game kind of just snowballs in.
Yeah, unfortunately, that looked like a solo queue Brigolt gone wrong to me. I mean, it
happens to the best of us.
Exactly. You completely understand where he's coming from, trying to salvage the situation. Maybe if you get that pick, you get the stun with the you know, the Briggle, and you can make something happen. Fortunately, it did not pan out.
All right, next match is going to be MDY. MDY used to be that one-trick team and contenders.
MDY is an interesting team because they've changed rosters 4 times in the last like 8 months.
And they're still one-tricks. Like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, we'll see if Eggman can beat Gangnam Gym.
All right. Well, we know that Wyvern is the first to fall here. Yaki, very bloodthirsty. He wants those flashy plays because, remember, Yaki is a very aggressive player in nature. And yes, of course, he's doing his job right now. He is doing the follow-up damage, but he wants to be that, like, play of the game. He wants those play of the game highlights after that match ends. Oh, OD. Yes, thank you. Actually, you are very correct. It was ODH, not MTY. I apologize for that. LaFon, we were all wrong.
I mean, MDY did change their roster like 4 times in 8 months. That part was absolute.
That is correct. They
I won't
changed
get
from a
into
Chinese
why.
roster to
Yes.
a Korean roster.
I won't get into the reason why, but it was a
We're not talking about politics here.
interesting time.
Well, at least
This is one of the fights of all time, actually.
yeah, actually it
Just
was
an absolute mess. Just an absolute disaster.
so
Opera had a super early pulse bomb there, just farming on. It looked like farming mag for ult charge, and then just a very very quick pulse bomb on Gangnam Gym to take that fight.
Actually, considering the percentage, it's high ults across the board.
wow, this is good early aggression from the side of MDY here because they know that Runaway have a lot of ults. The only, I guess, possibility that they can win is that if they go and like defend from the front and at least try to a good sleep, but Sit woke back up, but still good play. I like the idea that MDY is having right now.
Now.
Oh, Hisu.
2 down. Taking the point. Fall in, team.
All right, this is where LaFon's point from yesterday is really kind of like showing is that yes, you like if you hit overclock headshots, it's even better. But like even with the body shots, it's threatening enough, especially if you have a Genji that can follow up at the caliber of Yaki. You will do enough damage for your teammates to follow up and make those eliminations happen.
Oh, poor Ad. That is so unlucky. Isolated in a corner, and this Dragon Blade and a Winston on you. There's no way to reply.
I still, like, all things considered, I still like MDY's idea of play right now. Because especially what really impressed me was that when they won that fight with just the rally, and they know that they were at an ult disadvantage, they went up front and they went through the early aggression to make sure that they can at least delay the ult usage from the side of Runaway.
I wonder. I think these might all be rookies in terms of like competitive experience.
Somebody woke that up.
Because their mechanics are really good, but their timing isn't there yet. Like it's almost like they're counting setting up and like waiting for their team to show up rather than just. That's one of the things that like you're seeing Runaway do is that they'll just go for a play even when they're down one because there's that time and space available to them.
Oh, Ball wants to touch so bad. No, like not Ball is so bad. He wanted to touch so bad.
I mean, counterpoint, Ball not very good right now either, so you can say Ball bad.
Tell that to Team Hamster, who never plays Ball. Well, apart from that one time.
Yeah, that one time.
What, when was that?
It was. I think it was on Suravasa, wasn't it?
I think yes.
I think they were like all of them were main rolling, but like they were like playing very silly.
All right, we're seeing a run, and we're seeing, I think, different iterations of Rush a little bit on both sides. This is gonna be fun.
This is a counter raid against what they know Mag is going to run. Specifically, they know the Reinhardt comes in here, not the Sigma from Mag. So playing the Orisa and the Bastion makes sense.
Well, they may know what Runaway Mag is playing, but stopping him is a different story. Because remember, in comps, in like brawly comps like this, like team cohesion is almost everything, and Runaway,
Timing is
like Runaway, is impeccable in that sense. Because from the stories that I've heard about Runaway is that they're just more than a team together. They are more like a family. Oh man.
Losing your bat piece in the entry to a spam fire strike is, I mean, that's super unlucky. But you're not only is it unlucky because you don't get to kind of build up on that play. You're actually not going to generate anything, and Runaway are going to get to 5 ults before even one shows up here from last lane. This round, based on ult rotation, is going to be over simply because you're never going to be able to recover unless Runaway actually throws everything away.
Yeah, unless they just use 5 ults and 1. Oh well. All right, Lee Jung-on thinks that it's winnable, and it actually is. So that sound barrier was actually worth it. So 2 ults used on the side, 3 ults actually on the side of Runaway. But Runaway has 2 major ults coming. Mag is getting taxied by Lee Jung-on, and while being 56%, like if they still manage to use their ultimates correctly, they should be able to close this out. Oh, that was a fat shatter! And also, the Blizzard is there, so... Oh, poor Bastion's just gonna go to scrap. And yes, Wyvern's gonna use his ult, but everyone's gonna fall on the side of MDY. And yes, they will have that sound barrier and the Bastion all. However, I don't think it's gonna be enough. Potentially last fight territory. Even, I don't know if MDY can touch. Maybe they have to just throw their Lucio just to touch. They're just losing members just to touch. Yeah. Oh, the pin! Mag! You madman! Oh my goodness! That was violence. Okay. MDY knew what Mag was going to play. They tried to counter it. They know that Mag was not going to play the Sigma. They were clearly not ready for this. Whew. Alright, let me catch your breath.
You go to Midtown next?
Yes.
Unlucky.
After all the complaint about Midtown, I want to go back.
I mean, we were complaining about Midtown. The players love this map for some reason. You know what's really funny to me is that when Midtown was released, it never showed up in competitive play because, like, I mean, a combination of reasons. One, obviously teams hadn't scrimmed it a ton because it's new. But even still, the flip to it, like, being now one of the most played maps in competitive is interesting.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the Sigma. I am actually seeing a trend now. I think this is actually a meaningful trend in that teams are picking the Doomfist on the defense. This is interesting.
I mean, as Avril kind of highlighted, taking Runaway setups seriously.
Well, yes, they don't.
It's a little tough because, you know, Mag ain't playing Sigma.
Oh, so is Gangnam next I guess role toilet bin gonna be the Sigma?
If Gangnam Jin ever plays Sigma seriously on a pros team, I will stop casting forever.
Okay. Let me write that down and
so for the sake of my career, I hope he doesn't.
Okay. Just chat, remind me when kind of LaFon makes me pissed so I can have Gangnam Jin play Sigma competitively. I'll bribe him for it.
I said seriously on a pro team, so a one-off in a tournament doesn't count.
Okay. All right. So Mag was taken out, but there are trade kills. So trades are actually all in favor for the side of Runaway. And oh, Ana, you poor soul. Wyvern somehow decides to jump in and die, staggering them even more. I think this is kind of like the inexperience that you were talking about, LaFawn, right? Like there were some people that, hey, maybe I'll just jump into, like, throw a bubble or something to save the Ana or something, but it does look like there is some sort of discord, at least on the side of MDY. Oh, Wyvern very low. Oh, Gangnam Jin slept, but Lee Jae-gon tries to save him so bad, but fails, but at least managed to take revenge. Mag is going on a reset competition. Just kind of surprising, because usually in theory, the Sigma wins on the Orisa matchup.
I mean, Wyvern was also on Winston when the switch came through. So this is like a return. Like Wyvern switches after Mag does. So it's more of it in response to what Runaway are running.
Okay.
Also, interestingly enough, the map that we see Orisa the most is Paraíso, actually, right? On defense specifically. We haven't seen her. This is the first time we've seen her anywhere else in Flash.
This is going to be the Nano. I don't think they have the tools to survive here. Yes, the Nano is going to be there, applied to Wyvern to probably save it. But Yaki slept, but instantly woken up, and Lee Jae-gon finish out. Well, Eggman, that's the Ana there. Oh, poor Sigma. At least
that's so rude.
Well, I mean, at least the Sagar wasn't there for a little bit longer, right?
Well, no, I was gonna say Wyvern was waving hello, and they just put him down. That's
60 seconds remaining.
that's tragic.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, if you did that in New York, that's probably
yes,
what you anyway.
yes, that's what.
More accurate downtown New York interaction.
Well, it's MDY's turn to have a Dragon Blade, but unfortunately, they don't have a Nano to empower it, so it will be very interesting to see how this goes. Rolper is isolated. Will he be able to survive? No! The answer is going to be no, despite the support spent efforts. It is 30 seconds left. Wyvern, Bob is on the map. Wyvern is using... Oh, but cancelled! It's done, so that's going to be the rally shield bash. No, that's one tool down. CIT down. Sit down. So a lot of ultimates on the side of MDY, but it was not. Somehow they were all shut down one by one, and it's going to be a full hold for Runaway. And I finally remembered what MDY stands for.
Score. 0.
And I can say this because this is not an official broadcast name. It's Miku Dayo.
Yes.
And I almost forgot that there was a Miku Derby. Remember?
Yes, there was in the qualifiers.
Yes.
For was it
Miku Fan
Summer
Club
Opens? Yes.
There was a MFC, and then there was an MDY. I remember.
Yes. I was so sad we couldn't talk about that because it's such a funny.
Well, I mean, copyrights is a very serious legal issue, so
I understand exactly why it was done. It's not a critique of it not being able to be done. It's just nice that we could talk about our unofficial stream. So.
Oh. Last time. Wait a second. Last time I saw this person play, he was on Ana.
Hold on, yeah.
Wait. Eggman
Yes.
is on the Junkrat?
Hello? You don't look like a support to me.
I mean, in fairness, I don't think it has much outcome on this match, but
Also, he has been taking away his sword.
Oh, wait. Junkrat got the new KDA Superfan skin. So he's actually the #1 supporter.
Okay. Fair enough. But, well, where's the Seraphim then? He's
all right. All right. Now we're crossing IPs, and now you're actually in copyright danger.
Alright, sub me in and I will bully Runaway. I'm gold.
5,
Well, wait! Eggman!
1. Attackers
Behave! Oh no.
What are you doing here?
Gangnam-chin! Gangnam-chin!
No,
No way.
Well, Yaki died out of nowhere! What?
Wait, Yaki's are the cursed hero.
Wait, Namjin! Namjin! Oh no, Namjin. Namjin's on this. No, 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 no.
Maybe Gangnam just really liked Lucio.
Bully, trust me. He does not.
Relegated to Lucio hell again.
Well, he's having fun.
Already the most
Well.
successful Lucio campaign from Gangnam Jin.
Alright.
And that was a match.
I blame Junkrat. I blame Junkrat.
The Junkrat insta death to the Ana was just.
Also, he wasn't scouted, so he like just straight up missed.
Yep.
He's
He left
just
her with,
like
like,
me
4
for
HP.
real.
That was funny. That was so funny, guys. Alright. Important notice. This is the 2 competitive defeats 1 day ago. Sad. I'm bad. I'm washed. So this was up to qualifiers day 2. We are moving to knockouts day 1. So this is now a first to 3. We skipped a few matches. Of course, I would wish that I could cover every single match from all the teams, but we had a kind of like a production call before, and we kind of like decided, hey, we also want to cover the most recent matches and more competitive matches as well. So we are going to cover knockouts day 1 and 2. So that means we are going to cover Runaway versus SPG and the most recent today's match that ended like 4 hours ago. Runaway versus O2 High School. So these are the 2 matches that are remaining for us to cover. We will start with Runaway versus SPG.
ready for battle.
Oh, by the way, this is Samoa, but funnily enough, the knockouts were, if you're the higher seed, you get map selection. So this is a map that Runaway actually selected.
You know what's really funny is I don't have any opinions about this map because we haven't had a ton of it in competitive, and also I've seen it a grand total of 4 times.
1. Round
Like,
1.
seeing the grand total to 4 times meaning.
Like I've played on this map 4 times.
Only 4 times? I have
Only
played a
4
lot
times.
more than that. Wow.
I don't get it very frequently.
Okay.
I've won 3 out of my 4 attempts though.
So it's one of your best maps.
Apparently.
So in terms of composition, I think. Oh man, that was a Okay, can one of my if there's one of my managers in the stream, can I rate this stream mature? Because that was straight up violence over there by Mag. He has 72% on his ultimate. What? Like, he's cheating at this point. But anyways, if you look at the compositions right now, the composition gamble is in favor of Runaway right now. Of course, more like the Brawly composition is good against this Sigma comp.
Listen, Mag wins a fight, Mag feeds a fight.
Oh,
Yep.
100%.
Natural order restoring. That's how it probably should have gone, but
Yeah.
didn't the first time around.
I will say Mag actually back pretty quick, and
Well, I mean, his shatter didn't. I don't think his shatter did a lot of help, but definitely his hammer is. And Gong Namjoon, my boy. I
don't
don't.
think I did Lucio. I want to see that again.
No. No.
I don't really like this Baptiste look. This is kind of lame. Lucio back, please, right now.
Well, I mean, we have a Lucio God here. Like, what are you talking about? What do you want him to play?
Break.
Oh, no. I hate you, LaFon.
Man, they're not spacing well against Reinhardt at all.
I don't think they have the mobility. I mean, oh, Aiden. That was a good... Oh, wait. What? What?
I tried to bounce house the shift and...
Wait, how? Wait. I don't understand.
He tries to, like, when you drop, you bounce in this location.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there's lava over there. So,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never been that far.
Oh, wait, I think he got booped. So, well, okay, he didn't get booped for the kill.
No.
The boop comes in like earlier, so it shifts his momentum over, and he's not in the center where he thinks he is. So
Yeah, he doesn't get enough height, and then just plop.
yeah, that's so funny.
Drops to his death.
Okay,
That's
so
so funny.
Runaway and Die, like, environmental deaths. Name a better duo right now.
Also, I'd like to highlight, they pop off one fight, feed the next. This has been, so by that logic, they're going to pop off here.
Okay.
I don't know how they're going to pop off. They have nothing, but...
I mean, well, that's also the same for Simprisa Gaming right now. Yes, they do have the photon barrier, but like you said, they can just outmaneuver it, and they lost Gangnam and Mag is perilously low. Okay, German engineering's not gonna save you now. Gangnam well, waiting for his teammates. Come.
I'm going to run 1v5 and feed.
Yeah, we've had the Lee Jae-gong bash off of the map. We've had the mag shift into the lava. Now all we're missing is the Hisu portal the team off the map.
Oh, that's actually true. So A has the photon barrier, has to use this very carefully. If they're able to win this fight, they might be in a good position to win this map. Mag is approaching the Earth Shatter, and Simprisa probably knows about this.
Alright, come on Hisu, drop the portal. Let's see the 180 shatter from mag.
Oh.
Looking out.
Okay, so it's...
Well, you got your wish. You got the Lucio. Just
No, that was a
not quite
Legion
where
on
you
Lucio.
expected it. Yeah, exactly. Not quite where you expected it.
Wait, they actually should win this fight.
Wait, they do. They might.
Yeah, I think they actually retake here.
Yeah. That Blizzard did enough, and the Alien's beat was just a tad too late to save.
Oh, that's an early dive beat.
Well, because if you can clean up the kills here before Aid rejoins the fight, you actually just win the round.
Oh. Aid gets taken out. Milgard almost down. Very low, but is healed back up. So it's a number, at least it's even numbers on this. Oh, not if Gangnam is down. Yaki is coming back, but will he's only there to touch. Will he be able, well, I mean, he is able to touch. But the question is, will he be able to survive long enough for his teammates to come? Yaki needs to be the one to touch again. Legion is down. Mag is there, but is okay. Oh, that was a big stun, and 8 is down, and a lot of the members of the side of Runaway is back. So this might be a winning fight for Runaway. Yaki has the pulse bomb. It's not enough damage to take out the, but there is follow-up damage from the side of Runaway to take down the members of SPG one by one, and they are actually taking this fight. Now it's SPG's turn to do a desperate touch here. 88, 89, 8 is there to touch, but for how long? Can he stay touched for multiple times, because there's no more members on the side of SPG to touch, and wow, that is wow.
Can we see that fight,
What a
the entirety
replay.
of that last fight from Mag's point of view?
Since when?
Since like the a little bit
This
further
is
back
dive.
than this.
Yeah, his
so,
big
like,
dive where he
initial
engaged
dive.
with like 1 HP.
A little bit
right?
further back, maybe like 10 seconds before. Yeah, perfect, right here.
Oh, sorry. Let's just watch for a minute.
Yeah. Like, how does he survive? He shouldn't. the charge punch. Oh, the immortality field. Okay, Gangnam Jin clutches this fight big time. 2 HP.
2 HP.
Yeah. Gangnam Jin actually clutches this fight solo.
Oh man.
Man, that 2 HP is the difference between this fight going to SPG versus Runaway. I mean, it doesn't help that Aiden beat it like when no one was around, but you know.
So if the Lucio beats in the
Wait.
forest and no one's
Well,
wanting
it's
to do it,
It's the
it's
shift.
still a shield.
Yeah, the shift here, because he's in critical. Oh my god. Bap is like one of the best players at keeping low
Because you have a bonus.
HP members up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just his burst healing and regen is just so good.
Yeah. I kind of think that should be removed. Bap should not be able, because it means that like anytime you're in a dive against Bap, he doesn't have to use his shift until like much later, right? It's not really a cooldown you can force.
Anyway, that was a very impressive showing for Runaway because there were like for a while there, it looks like Simprisa Gaming was actually gonna take round 1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they should have. That's just like an ultra clutch factor from Runaway and some.
And so I think that also I agree with Chad that wasn't like a horrible beat, but it was like very questionable. I guess a little bit more of a celebratory sound barrier early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not the best usage. So, you had a fun story about only playing on this map 4 times. This sub-map in particular, I had never played on until last week.
Ooh.
I mean, actually, now that you say that, I actually haven't seen this point a ton either. Even like on those 4, it might be like it feels like it's weighted the least of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know that's not a thing.
Oh, that's good follow-up damage on Aid here. They start with a numbers disadvantage. Yaki there. And another good nade on both sides, actually. But it is with the numbers advantage and... Oh, good sleeve. I mean, I just love Gangnam Jin on the Ana here. Like, I just can't say it enough. Like, yes, there were good anti-nades from both Anas, but at that point, Runaway was already at a numbers advantage because Aid fell early, so that was a relatively easy fight win for the side of Runaway, and they will be keeping on the pressure. And it's interesting to see how Yaki's Genji and Lee Jigon's Brig is almost playing like the traditional Zen Tracer on the sideline. And they're actually making a lot of progress. I think it's one of the confidence. I think it's kind of like showing a lot of confidence that Gangnam Jin, even like without being in the immediate vicinity of his I guess support partner, that he can survive, and that means more again, I always talk about resources on the sidelines. That means Brig can focus on giving resources to the sideline, which is usually Yaki's Tracer or the Genji, and that is making a huge difference here because that cannot be said the same for SPG and Argon.
This is true.
Yeah.
Gangnam Jin's just the MVP in my opinion so far for Runaway. However, one thing I'm really liking to see is Yaki is just shadowing him all the time, allowing him to take those aggressive positions that he is, and peeling for him whenever someone like Tracer or Sombra is trying to kill him.
Yeah.
If you
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Like, exactly. I wanted to kind of elaborate on your point because that's why I paused. Yes, Yaki is in a really great position right now because he can both dash in aggressively and defensively. Because if you look at his positioning right now, if Mag decides to dive in, he's in a position. He's in a swift strike position, like distance, to go wherever Mag wants to jump, and he's also in a single swift strike dash position to get to Gangnam Jin if Argon decides to aggress on him. So I think that's a perfect point that you've made there, Griffey. Well, this time he wants blood.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, because it's Final Fight territory, they're just using everything to make sure that everyone dies on the side of SPG. And SPG knows this as well, so they're just dumping ults, even though if they know they're going to lose, and that is going to be the end of Samoa. So 1-0 for Runaway. Remember, this is not a first to 2, this is a first to 3. This is the start of knockouts, so it is, SPG still has ample opportunities to come back.
Do you know if finals is first to 3 or first to 4?
First to 3. All the matches are first to 3.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense because the knockouts are a qualifier for the international version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which will be on LAN, by the way. International LAN. I like it.
Nice.
Ready for battle.
We're back to New York, guys. You know, Grand Central. Let me just give you a quick tour here, because I don't think we've been this far, right?
Yeah, no, Hamster got here once, right?
Like once out of how many times we've seen.
We were also maybe about the fact that who was in DPS in that game? I think one of the supports was playing. I think it was Chio was
I
playing.
think it was Chio, yeah. Anyway, we're back, Uptown and the Bronx. Well, all right. Going back to the match, we're seeing another Mag Doomfist defense. We're
Yaki, what are you doing?
Wow.
What is
Wait.
Yaki doing?
What?
Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts?
3, 2,
I aim to devastate.
attackers
Bro,
Bro,
what are you doing?
bro, I want to see this in Yaki's perspective now. Wait.
What did Yaki think was gonna happen?
1. Attackers
Actually, just stand.
Oh my god.
Yaki.
The ego.
Yaki.
That was an ego play if ever I've seen one.
Yeah, but like an
I love
undeserved ego play. It's not like he's.
He knows that he got demoted to Tracer. But but at the same time, Hisu is down, so Yaki's gonna be the only DPS threat that that Runaway has, and Ash is not a mobile hero, so it's gonna take a while for him to come back. And the pressure that Runaway is giving is enough to keep Senprisa just to happy with just a tick. And Uchan is down, Ganglamjin and Mac fall, so this may be Senprisa's window of opportunity to cap. I will be sticking out my neck and say this. This is Yaki Snowball.
Yeah, I think everyone is thinking that actually.
Hi, Lord Denning. This is a replay. This is not.
I wish. My greatest wish is that the Runaway release. They said after Yaki gets picked like that.
I want the voice comms. Like, hey
Yeah.
Yaki, get off. Beep, Genji. Well, at least after conceding point A, Runaway still has. They're in a position to contest for high ground on this bridge here. Mag jumping to maybe touch the point and just get 8 off that high ground on. But Mag is taken down. But Aiden is also taken down as well. But still, it looks like, at least for now, it looks like a favorable trade on the side of Runaway. And not if Lee Jingle has a say in it. Argon is down. So,
This ends now.
Aid wants to. Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
So Aid's basically saying, "Shut up, unknown. I Senprisa has the upper hand. What are you talking about?" All right,
I think it's really interesting to highlight at a contender's career for the last couple of seasons. Hitscan players were basically Sojourn one tricks, and so we have some really, really talented Sojourn players that only can play Sojourn. And you switch them off Sojourn, they struggle a little bit, but have looked good on that character.
Oh,
I think Aid is one of them.
yeah, I think that's fair to say. And okay, so there was a lot going on. Hisu was pressured very low. until the very low HP. So Gangnam Jin had to nano Hisu to save him, but he was slept immediately, so he didn't have the opportunity to pop the overclock. And in the end, I think a good team fight overall on the side of Runaway. Another good nade to deny the advance of SPG. So, and Argon is down, so they SPG has to back out and regroup. It's not even about the high ground anymore. It's the initial choke point that Runaway is trying to control. Uchan pressured, so he has to be. He's not in a position to heal any of his teammates. Now he is. The Uchan's nade goes wide. They know that this ability is depleted now, so it might be an opportunity for Runaway to dive. Uchan naded once again. Mag and Yaki not able to follow up. Good play from Aiden and Argon to pressure them from dissuading that play. Mag is trying to slap Aiden to death, but Aiden uses that rally to stay alive. Uchan is down. Good pulse by Yaki. So a lot of healing denied for the side of SPG. So once again, SPG has to back down. Yes, Aiden used the rally, and Aiden survived the early aggression from Mag, but still, it's two ults traded for one, but it's a pulse bomb included on the side of Runaway. So I think Runaway is going to be happy with that ult trade.
Mag and Yaki have been holding this control in this like mini health pack room against the supports way too easily.
This ends now.
Oh, Milgaro taking a trade. So this is a numbers advantage for the side of Sunprisa Gaming. This might be their opportunity, but Mag is there, and Gangnam Jin is in a position to heal Mag. So maybe they just give up a little bit, half the tunnel, and they will. And Lee Jae-gon has that rally, so they will be probably wanting to use that for that push.
One thing to note is that despite this being a really fast point A take, they got staggered so long. There's only minute 20 left here on the second phase.
Oh, good shot by 8. This might be what they exactly need to cap point B here.
Lee Jae-gon cannot die.
Well,
okay, that's gonna be second.
Well,
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
all right. Well, I mean, no key ultimates on both sides. Yaki does have the pulse. So maybe if they want to stabilize here, Yaki... Well, I wouldn't say he has to stick, make this worth it, but it would be definitely a lot of stabilizing for the side of Runaway if Yaki does make that stick happen. Ooh, the pulse bomb goes wide. And Argon... go ahead.
The skirmish for this high ground is really important because it means that you get to stage your dive from a more defensible position, so you don't have to use as many cooldowns to kind of get in. So this is why you see both these teams like kind of taking a lot of aggression up here. If you can hold this bridge, you're in really good position to kind of stabilize on third.
Oh, so a lot of things happening in that small corridor over there, but it looks like in the end, Runaway does not even have to use Nano in order to stabilize things. Sunprisa Gaming used a lot of both of their support ultimates, but still did not manage to win that team fight. So it's going to be a very big advantage for the side of Runaway, especially now that the timer is running sub 1 minute, and we'll be able to have both ultimates, support ultimates ready on that next fight.
Yeah, Nano Overclock is going to go crazy here in this final fight, I think. I like this one. I mean, Runaway slowing the game down here by like not actually taking a ton of fights is really good.
Oh, that wasn't even the overclock. That was that was just a ordinary railgun. And Gangnam Jin may elect to just save his nano just in case. Can anyone touch?
No.
No.
Tracer?
No.
Maybe? No. Nope. Not anymore.
Well, I mean, they did push a decent amount, but in the end, they were not able to full cap, and that is a win condition for Runaway.
I mean, there was 2 key moments for Runaway after they kind of beefed first. The first one is that they were able to bleed so much time in that choke. Again, using the map advantage to your strengths, right? Like forcing the opponent to be in an area where to kind of break through requires you to be it requires a very expensive investment. Whether that be through ultimates or having to kind of all in on a play, which is oftentimes done blindly because you can't scout because again you're being held to the choke. Means that you can force really garbage fights for your opponent, which bleeds a lot of time off the clock. That's how second was so effective. And then you're in crunch time in third, and then because you often have to overinvest to break through those choke points, when you get to that third phase, you don't have any resources left. And you can take a lot of really cheap fights, which we saw again from Runaway, where they allowed Simprissa to just hover in the area, which costs time. And then the very important fight, Hisu gets a really nice headshot, and you snowball off of that, and you close out the map.
Yeah, I think it was really important that Hisu didn't have to use the overclock early and just get 2 headshots with the railgun, so that he could use it in the fight right after that. And at that point, there was no way that Argon would have just made that touch happen. Oh, good early sleep from Milgaru, and also naded, so actually pressured and have to use a lot of healing resources, which gives our Runaway a lot of space to get through this corridor here.
So I do like, though, that they haven't given him a ton of ground.
Argon very low.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Mag, will he be able to survive? He will be. So
it was actually a decent setup from SPG to try and hold the supports out while they isolate Mag and company. But the supports duo Milgaru, and they come in and they're going to win the fight off that.
Yeah, so I also really like how Yaki... Oh, well, he does fall here, but it's not really going to matter. And I really like how Yaki is really in sync with Mag to follow up the damage and finish off those low health targets.
Yeah, you did a great job of pointing out how they kind of corralled them into that room, and Mag was really patient there, allowing himself to get healed up, staying defensive, get topped off, jump in, keep the pressure, but then immediately jump out and just, hold the doorway. Don't let them out. And the team is rotating around the outside to the point and then forcing them all into the room. And from that point, it was just cleaning up.
Yeah, so Mag did a really good job in pigeonholing them into their own demises. So a really smart move there. And Mag is being a nuisance, in Simprisa's point of view. Yes, they are positioned on the high ground over here, but they're not having a good angle to kind of have a shot on the people that are pushing the cart. Oh, 8 had the better shot against Sisu this time, but Yaki takes that revenge. And where is Legion gone? Okay, he's back. But this is really, really quick progress for the side of Runaway, and Yaki is okay, I'm just gonna make this one quick.
A little bit of
they've all do
there. Mag punched the the brig away. Wait, that actually might cost them.
Might be.
Not getting that kill onto the brig is actually pretty disastrous. That's so funny.
Mag trolling a little bit after Lijiang Tower on qualifiers day 1. Good point. Simprisa keeps making unnecessary positional mistakes and gets punished for it. I think, yes, I think it's also good awareness on the side of Runaway to catch these kind of mistakes and just profit from them. And Gangnamjin is like, again, Milkaru is playing the Sigma composition. Good shot from Hisu. This is going to give a lot of ground, especially Mag. And Yaki again trying to make life miserable for 8, but 8 is somehow surviving with the help of his support. And it's Yaki who is actually very low, and Mag is forced on his ultimate. 8 is still not down. Argon actually falls before him. Yaki is down as well. Wow, 8 is having an impressive performance, especially on this point. 8 also takes down Hisu. I don't think Lichagon's down. This attempt is also going to be thwarted.
That was so much spent trying to take down 8. He probably got healed for 5 of his entire health bars during that fight. But the supports were able to just keep him up through the whole thing. Honestly, Brig with the packs, really good at against characters like Doomfist that, unless they hit the perfect combo, don't have the burst damage to just take them out in one shot, so the Brig healing can top it off. And then the Immortality Field kept him alive for even longer. And just the raw sustained healing from the Baptiste is just, they didn't have enough. No headshot from Hisu, no kill.
Alright, so what is Runaway looking for here? I am expecting the Gangnamjin to nano the Doomfist, probably? Oh, no, maybe it's going to be the nano overclock. Oh, Hisu, I want to see that one again. It wasn't even the overclock, it was a fully charged... It was a fully charged railgun. And it is going to be a nano Legion. They definitely wanted the rallying brick to survive, and he is paying dividends because he is dismantling Seven Priests of Gaming part by part. And who is calling that a support? And that is point B secured for the side of Runaway. Yes, Sunprisa did a pretty good job of stalling a little bit. I think Runaway led at least a minute and a half.
Yeah, they're coming in with just about the same amount of time as Simprisa did to this chokehold here. To point 2.
Yep. But the thing is, they don't have to full cap here. They only have to go a little more than half of this entire point. And I believe, well, yes, I think Simprisa should have a turn that they should be winning. But after that, they have to be very careful with their ult management here, because if anything goes south, if their ult management goes south here, it is not going to be easy going like winning the fight that follows. Yaki with the 2K on the blade, 3K, and I think that's just going to be enough for Runaway to take 2-0. And it is going to be match point for Runaway, 2-0. Simprisa needs to make something happen, or they're going down to the loser's bracket. The lower bracket, rather.
And that's why you don't need Nano Blade. The Genji either does it or doesn't do it. And that time, the Genji came in clutch.
Yeah, we've mentioned earlier about the Dragon Blade that LaFon, I think, mentioned it, that nowadays it's more like you bait out support ultimates, you bait out key cooldowns. It's more like a threatening shot. But Yaki has been a good Genji and if you look, and there will be windows of opportunity where those key cooldowns are already down, so it will be, there are opportunities for the Genji to make some great, I guess, multi-kill opportunities, and Yaki just got the perfect angle. And even if that didn't go as planned, I think that yes, Simprisa had one more ultimate than Runaway, and when the cart was already in that corner, even if Simprisa won that fight as long as they invested ults in winning that fight, I think Runaway would have won the next fight anyways, because they had so many resources coming up. But good game. I think it was a interesting game, and we are going to Suravasa.
Our first flashpoint.
Ooh.
For the day. Of the day.
Yes. Actually, the only time we've seen Flashpoint in the groups is so far is when Hamster was
Trolling. Yes.
creatively playing. Yeah, they were trolling.
Okay.
Anyways,
Hey, any PR people around here, this is your guy to hire. Like, if he can cover that up with PR shit, well, I can't see a better person to hire. I like the setup by Sunprisa here. I think Sunprisa is expecting the Doomfist to be there, so there is that Sombra.
Some lore actually. Milgar was a fantastic Wrecking Ball. He's like the new wave of like primarily Wrecking Ball players that came in, right?
I thought it was
but
Mag.
also-
That was the Wrecking Ball guy.
Yeah, but I'm saying from like the new generation, right? The new players stepping in. I will also say, this is a comp that Simprissa has played on Suravasa when they were in contenders to great success, even against, you know, the compositions that were in vogue back then, which would have been like the Sigma, the Zarya, you know, that sort of ethos. So this is kind of a return to their history more than anything.
I think you don't usually see Sombra a lot of these days, especially after the warrior work. But given that both tanks are weak against the Sombra, I think it's just kind of like a more countermeasure to each of the tank players. Oh, that was a good hack and a follow-up good nade. So Milgaru falls down, and the point was already in Runaway's control, so it looks like it's going to be at least a 60 to 70% control point for the side of Runaway, and this is cleanup for Yaki. With Flashpoint being so fast and gaining those percentages, I think this is going to be last fight territory, and Yaki with that EMP will be happily taking that last fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is you're playing aggressively. 5 ults. This has all been neutral play by Runaway. And Yaki's Sombra specifically has been an absolute menace, almost near single-handedly keeping Milgaru in check.
Oh, this is going to be the EMP.
Is that up for an EMP? No, okay. The spawns move forward, and everyone vacates premises. Mag not quickly enough.
Well, Yaki fell, and Mac fell as well. But, well, I mean, it was just that Mac fell, but they got what they came from. So I think Mac shouldn't be too salty about that death.
Yeah, I think we're headed to Palace next, right? Yeah. Or it's not Palace, it's
I'm sorry, I still don't know the name.
No, it is Palace. It is
Palace.
All right, who's ready for a fireworks show?
Yeah, it's 10 ults. Good point. I just want all 10 ults to be there.
All 10 ults need to be used this fight, correct?
Okay,
that's 2?
That's 2.
Oh, we're not gonna get 10.
Well, we're gonna see 4 though. 5, 6, 7. We saw 7 ults.
7.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna do?
Wait, there's still potential. It's not over yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just want to revisit this fight.
Gangnam Lucio sighting. Aw.
No, you just wanted to get there faster.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna use this opportunity to go third-person point of view and see fireworks. All right.
That is also a change I wish they would make to Flashpoint. Is that getting spawns so far back is kind of annoying.
Oops. Sorry.
Where you have to like switch your character to get to the front of the spawn door to switch to your actual character.
Oh wait, I jumped way too far. But... Yeah, this is actually the end of point 1. Sorry, I went back. I rewinded a little bit too far.
Okay, we'll get the aerial view for
Next, Flashpoint, Palace.
the take a point
Palace.
Damn.
So, fireworks ready. Yeah, it's gonna be here.
Because the EMPs happen simultaneously, which are just like dead.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Ready?
All right.
I'm ready for this.
Point unlocked.
So that's 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
8. Jeez.
Ah, that was fun.
So,
No, it was 7 because there's 3 ults remaining.
yeah.
That
But let's
was
see. The fight still hasn't ended. We're back to where we were. You know.
Yeah, Wuchan didn't get a chance to use his ult.
Okay.
He just died instantly.
Yeah.
All right, 3 ults now in this next fight, so we have 10.
alright. I think SPG should be in a position to, like, you know, use the amplification matrix and kind of pressure Runaway out.
Oh, that's so unlucky.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, both supports on the side of Runaway are also down, but it's not gonna matter if everyone on the side, if you can win with the remaining members of on your team. That's not even gonna matter. Hisu definitely needs a health pack, or an armor pack.
Oh no, we're seeing a Cassidy now? Oh no.
Oh, I have fond memories of this character. Remember Fearless?
Yeah, I don't think that is the endorsement that Cassidy really needs.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a start. Oops. So, effectively used window by Uchan to threaten now to flush out everyone, but Lee Jaegon and Gangnam Jin, I thought they were just gonna die, and they waited, they survived until the cavalry came in. It's going to be an easy, wow, it's gonna be an easy retake for the side of Runaway because I thought it was not an overextension for Semprisa to clean up the 2 supports because there were only Gangnam and Lee Jaegon left, but they actually took down Argon's Tracer and survived long enough for Mac to come, and it was actually the other way around, so it was a early retake for Runaway and capping point B. Yaki somehow died.
Yeah, he instantly. Yeah, call an ambulance, but not for me kind of situation right there.
Oh, Lee Jaegon needs healing.
Oh.
Well,
I'd like to highlight the fact that Aid already has gotten more critical hits on Cassidy than Fearless did.
hey,
Fearless is catching strays in a game he's not even in. You love to see it.
Oh my god.
chat, I did not say that. I blame LaFon.
I take responsibility. I'm not ashamed of it.
Alright.
Fearless made me watch that with my own 2 eyes. You know what? Deserve. Oh, nice EMP.
Nice EMP, also good follow-up. Yaki, poor Yaki, taken down by the Deadeye. The sustain from Aiden's rally was enough for Aid to charge up that to take down Yaki. However, it was a pretty expensive fight for the side of Runaway. Maybe it was not. I guess it was an even fight because they Semprisa also used 3 ultimates as well. And
Torbjorn sighting.
oh,
Aid's on Torbjorn.
what value? Maybe it's to counter the flankers? Yaki? Maybe?
I mean, Torbjorn does a lot of damage.
So does Brig. Proven.
That felt personal from Lee Jae-god, using the rally to to get the stun to take down Milgaru.
Uh-huh. He was like, stop being in my face! This
I mean, this
is
is tough. This is feeling like a speed run. I think this map's over. Even with a nano here, I don't think there's enough engage potential for for SPG to kind of close this fight
It's
out.
probably going to be Milgar's going to be the only nano target. Wait. Oh wait, it went to the Torbian? What?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, Nanotorb is very scary, especially with Overload.
Yeah, and then I mean, it might have just been an opportunistic situation because Tor was just
sure.
right in the face of Ana. So
Good to see you.
take the Ana out, clear the room.
Hmm.
I mean, it worked out.
And
I
yeah,
mean, the problem is there is still going to be a recontest here for SPG. You've got Primal,
from Runaway.
Primal Nano. Yeah, sorry, correct, from Runaway.
Will Aid be able to have that Molten Core to defend? It looks like he will. Oh, well, not gonna matter.
Bye-bye. Alright, GG's.
GG's. Alright. So that's
GG.
GG's for SPG. So that was a 3-0 win for Runaway, and SPG is effectively in the lower bracket of, well, I mean, for those who haven't followed today's results, they are still in the lower bracket of the tournament at the knockouts. Runaway so far has not dropped a single map. So they're undefeated so far, and we are going to our last match of the day, which is
And this one's good.
this one's
Yeah,
gonna
this one's
be
going to
good.
be interesting because it's O2 high school, right?
Mhm.
But this is the generation of O2, the most recent, winningest generation of O2.
Oh, please go on. I need to go look for the
Oh, the code. Yeah, so this is the O2 Blast that continued the. So O2, for those of you who are unfamiliar, has the record of the longest win streak in contenders. I think it was like 30-something matches. They won. They are. I also believe now at this point the most championship titles in contenders. And before their roster was picked up, sort of all over the place. SF Shock, Dallas Fuel, a couple of the other players went to other teams. Before that rebuild, they were the strongest team in contenders and were considered to be like challenging Overwatch League in terms of like prowess.
and they proved
so
their
this is a resurgence
point.
team.
And they proved their point because in the Overwatch League knockouts, they did send some Overwatch League teams home.
Yep. And then that team got rebuilt or got like kind of poached. So,
Yeah. I mean, I guess the fate of contenders seems right.
yep.
3.
I mean, Proby, he's saying Max, Bliss, Battle. These guys are, some of the best to have done it.
Wait, wasn't Max the support for the San Francisco Shock?
Yeah, I mean, the SF Shock made some choices.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just happy Gangnam Jin's not playing on Lucio. All right. It's personal for me. All right. So if you look at the compositions here, you probably have. It looks like Runaway has expected O2 High School to play the Sigma because they are They're trying to counter it with the ball composition. They know that they are not gonna match. They're not gonna match with the mirror on the Sigma composition. However, it looks like it does not matter because even with the Sigma composition, unlike the teams we have been seeing before, this is a very fast-paced Sigma composition. Like, usually when we talked about these kind of Sigma comps, we said that these Sigma comps are very slow. But right now, O2 High School is playing this composition as if this is a rush composition.
I will also say this is so Max when he was on O2 was the starter, right? Even though he was like 17, he wasn't expected to like a lot of the times we saw Junbin not end up playing because the signal was so popular. This is the character. This is what the character he was known for specifically. Is what I'm trying to highlight.
So there is that Blizzard. It ends up taking out Hisang. Probe is also down as well. So it looks like Runaway is going to take this fight, but we don't know yet because Mag is down. Oh, but now I know. Max is in bubbles down. Bliss is just cleanup duty for the rest of the side of Runaway. Yes, Mag is down, but still, with only the Blizzard and the Amplification Matrix invested, they take the point. And also, OT High School invested the same amount of ults. So, definitely, Runaway is going to feel good about this. But O2 High School has a lot of tools to take back this point. They have the Gravitic Flux. They have the Photon Barrier. They have the Sound Barrier as well. They start with the Photon Barrier. The Shatter takes down 2. Good Sound Barrier from both sides. Mag is very, very low. Mag is taken down first. Trade kill for Poby. However, more members are down on the side of Runaway. It is a 2v3. Yes, Yaki is trying to heal himself, but it looks like it's going to be an uphill fight for the side of Runaway, and it is an early take back on OTU High School. It was a lot of ultimates for both sides, but in the end, if both sides used a lot of ults and you take that point, I'll take that every day, every time of the day.
Really interested to see how this next fight goes, because this is, I mean, obviously final fight, but will they have to use both Window and Blizzard on Runaway, that is?
I think they would have to.
Because that would actually mean that they end up losing the map, because they will not generate enough to kind of counter the last fight territory.
So there is that Window first. They need to make a meaningful pick here. They do, and Proby, Max falls, so they don't need to use the Blizzard. So this is good news for the side of Runaway. Cannot be said as so for O2 High School. So this is actually a very clutch moment for Runaway. Like you said, if they use both ultimates, they do not have a future. However, this still means that O2 High School does have the means of coming back, especially if Max and Hisang gets their ultimates as quickly. Proby is going to have their Blizzard really quickly. Yaki knows this and probably uses the Blizzard very early, but Legion is the one to fall first, and the flip is there, so it is actually pressure on Runaway to make this happen. Mac very low. Mac needs to survive if he wants to use the Shatter, but it's not gonna happen. Yaki is not on the point, so he's not being able to contest. Golemjin's the only one left, but is not in a position to contest, and that first point goes to O2 High School. Night Market is not Runaways today.
And here's where we heard Avril in chat earlier mentioning the, Runaway's biggest flaw is that they don't have a lot of flexibility. When you run up against a team that is not just purpose-built for this meta, right? O2 High School has, Max, who has had a fantastic Sigma for so long. You're going to be forced to kind of play this off. I don't want to say off meta, because the Reinhardt kind of counter to the Sigma is something we've seen before. But it's clear that O2 just has more flexibility, and the fact that they're able to make the Sigma comp work against the Reinhardt means that it is unlikely for Runaway to have much success in this series unless they can find a way to kind of burst down, this front line that O2 High School are running.
So interesting interesting choice by the side of O2 High School. They know that Mag is never going to play the Sigma, so they are going with the Junker Queen and the Bastion composition, which is going to generate a lot of pressure on Reinhardt. But it is the initial fight goes the way of Runaway. I guess one of the strengths of O2 High School's composition is that yes, they have a little bit more ability. They can match the brawl of the Reinhardt composition. However, it is not going to provide as much cover as would have been with the Sigma composition would be able to provide. So they are going back to the Sigma composition, which they enjoyed success with.
Oh, that's a good teleport wall.
Early Window on the side of Namjit. So they are trying to zone out the members of OT High School. OT High School probably wants to wait out until this window expires, which already did, and this is going to be their moment. but Baba is taken down early on, so it is going to be once again a fight that is in the favor of Runaway. And this, I think this is really important for Runaway because they did not use any ults. Yes, they did use their window early on, but they did not use any key, I guess, more resources. So I guess as long as they don't mess up their ult rotations, this should be in a good position for Runaway.
Yeah, Runaway playing really patient here. Honestly, really good usage of their ults and just not using them. And one of the things I love to see is how quickly that Sigma Shield dies whenever Map Window is up. Sig Shield is one of my most hated abilities in the game because everyone ignores it, so he just throws it wherever he wants, getting our tank killed all the time. So I'd love to see that tank just evaporate.
Both Blizzards used, but it is still Runaway that makes the better trade here. And to make things even worse, Max still has that Earth Shatter. Yes, the OTU High School has that. Oh, Bliss just used that sound barrier just to sustain himself for the touch. Max using the Gravitic Flux. I don't think maybe not be enough. Hisu is going to fall, but Lee Jigon is still in hold of that sound barrier, and Mag is using his shatter to keep everyone out of the point, and that is a celebratory sound barrier for Lee Jigon. The Lee Jiang is tied so far.
Yeah, end of that round.
Decision to open up on the Junker Queen, right? It's a gamble, right? If you can make it work, then you obviously have thrown your opponent off and they have to switch everything up to try and kind of counter out. But because it doesn't work, you are in the hole the rest of the round, right? You have to spend so much time playing catch up, and Runaway doesn't make mistakes this time. Something that we've seen before is that like teams when they get into that, when they get ahead, they oftentimes will overspend in certain scenarios. Runaway doesn't do that, so you're just never going to be able to come back in a sort of setup where economy is so important.
Okay, so even though they did lose, they lost Gardens, they still, O2 High School still feels confident that they can win this Ryan Ball composition with that Sigma. They are running it for the third time in Justin Lee Chang. In theory, Runaway's composition should have the upper hand, but if you have enough confidence, it does not necessarily mean you cannot win with this composition. Battle takes down Lee Jigon. That is a start. Lucio is a very key component of this composition. Not just like the speed boost that it provides is the key, and Mag taking down means that it's definitely going to be more progress towards the point on the side of O2 High School.
Yeah, as soon as the Jigon goes down on the Lucio, the Reinhardt essentially becomes a sitting duck against the Mei, and they're just able to swarm him and kill him immediately.
And look at the ult charges here. Hisu, Yag, the DPS players will be having almost matching ult cycles, but if you look at the tank and support ultimates, you can see that, especially with the tank ult advantage that O2 High School has, it is going to be very difficult for Runaway to break through this. They probably will have to do a very big outplay or hope that O2 High School makes a mistake, because this is exactly the other way, the opposite situation from what happened in Gardens. This is a big snowball potential for the side of O2 High School, but at least they were able to flip the point. O2 High School, very patient. They know that they can win if they use their ultimates. They're just looking for the right timing.
Oh, Max gets frozen. If he gets taken down, this is going to be...
Max does get taken down.
This should be able to be them turning it around.
Wait, Probe wants to commit.
Oh, nice immortality kill.
Despite Probe's best efforts, Runaway manages to survive. Maybe if Max...
That is a lot kinder of a way to put that than I was going to go with.
I mean...
That was not Probe's best Blizzard.
Yes, it wasn't, but it was one of his, I guess, well, medium efforts. Let's just say that then. Alright. Oh, good shatter from Mag. That is going to delay this even further. It was just Mag's shatter. So this time, it's the other way around. We're keeping these teams are keep swapping places because this is snowball potential for Runaway now. Unless Runaway overspends, Runaway makes a bad mistake, or maybe I guess if O2 High School makes a very good ult, maybe like 3+ Flux or something like that, I don't see a way that O2 High School is coming back.
That was a whiff from Max.
Your kinetic grasp is not going to save you for the hammer. Hisu is down, so that's a start, but he's not going to straight it out. Bliss uses the sound barrier. Lee Gon follows suit. This is a good Blizzard by Yaki. Bliss is taking down. Probably is taking down as well. It looks like the fight is going on the side of Runaway. I think I can say this with confidence now. Yep. There's no way O2 High School's coming back from that.
Well, there's still at least 2 more maps to go. Remember, this is the first of 3. They can come back.
Of course. I think both teams kind of like displayed both of their strengths and weaknesses at the same time. Like I really want to go back on Nafra's point to say that like a lot of the difficulties, one of the reasons why Runaway's life is being so hard is that they're kind of like half forced into this rhyme brawl composition because they're unable to match the Sigma composition. And I think I think that's gonna be a big part of how this series itself is going to I guess run out, right? Because O2 High School is definitely going to try to exploit that as much as possible.
Lijiang Tower ends up being the most favorable map for the Rhine as well, right? Close quarters on where your Rhine can actually move around and do things, and like where the Sigma can't disengage from more critically. And then, I mean, the Garden ends up being a little bit lucky because O2 High School rolls out on. They put themselves behind the 8-ball, right? Early, and they just never quite recover.
Yep. Just give me a few minutes to change the name bars. Runaway. There we go.
How many teams are represented? Overwatch League rosters or teams are represented by the players in this lobby. It's got to be like at least 7, right? Maybe even I think more than that.
Max, Hisang.
Like unique Overwatch League teams, I mean.
Oh.
So SF Shock obviously, but then like Titans, Dallas.
You mean just from last year or all time?
Like all time Gladiators,
Dragons.
Oh. Yeah,
Dragons.
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, at least 7.
I mean, just
Ooh.
Runaway might have 8.
Yeah. Damn. Hisu and Yaki are doing a lot of the heavy lifting on Runaway's side. Because they each played like 3 different teams, right?
Yaki Mayhem, the Excelsior, the Gladiators, Gon, the Uprising, and the Dragons. Namjoon pretty much the same with Yaki.
Hisu, Fusion, Defiant, and then Dragons.
Mag Infernal.
Yeah. Damn, so it's actually like closer to 12. Also, while we've been talking about Overwatch League teams, this has been really good spacing from O2 High School to prevent this dive from coming in.
Okay, using both support ultimates means that they actually meet it, and they Proby and Hisang. All right. They probably Runaway looks like probably they have to back up, and this is really bad for Runaway because they committed both support ultimates, and likely until at least one either of the Dragon Blade or the Overclock is going to be online, they will probably have to be zoned out if Babel decides to use his amplification matrix.
I really like that Bob from Proby. Sends it into the back line so like no one can contest the objective. It actually gets an elimination, and it funnels everyone into close quarters, so it opens up a pulse bomb for Hisang as well. It's good spacing. Like Ocho High School has done a really good job of controlling space despite being pressured by a dive composition.
Agreed. I think Yaki was threatening for a Dragon Blade position, but kind of faked it. And I think, like, if we look at the results, it's probably best to save it because Lee Jagon was pressured and was eliminated, so it's gonna be a reset for the side of Runaway.
You asked me a couple of matches ago, why is the Ashe a good pickup? And Proby's showing why it's actually good when you like the thing about Ashe is that it's so dependent on like actually spacing correctly, so you don't have to use Coach Gun for the first engage, and you use it for the second part. And Proby's doing a good job of rotating around the map, so he doesn't. So anytime someone tries to actually engage onto him, it's much more difficult to do anything.
Okay, so this is
That's how you deal with Blade with the
exactly
Gravitic Flux.
And Proby also has the Bob, so yeah, with 30 seconds remaining, I think the only way that Runaway can actually make a cap like point A cap happen is I guess Hisu's headshot, either from a railgun or a overclock.
I mean, I think they are actually favored here because you should go with like rally plus overclock aggressively.
Oh. Maybe you spoke a little bit too soon, but
they're just not going to do that. They just didn't do anything.
They were full health.
Runaway just so disjointed this map.
Yeah.
It feels like Yaki's follow-up is just not there with Mag this time, and he's just not able to get into those positions. Probe's doing a great job in the back line, just rotating around, stopping Mag from getting in on him, and constantly putting pressure. You saw in that fight, he got a headshot with one and bobbed the
from Hisu's POV. I just want to see why they didn't go through choke. Why is Hisu just chilling here? Rallies up. They're just.
Oh. He didn't. I don't know. Maybe he didn't know that Hisang was on his back. I mean, he probably would have heard, right?
I mean, and he saw the Tracer dash to the left.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
so
he gets
weird.
popped by by the Ashe across the map.
Well, I mean, he gets popped.
Like, I mean, they don't lose the round on that fight. It's just like a weirdly disjointed fight from. I don't know. They just don't do anything. Also, good counterpin from Bliss to prevent Mag from touching for the overtime.
So, I didn't expect. Well, I mean, I didn't expect a full hold to be like Runaway to get full held after.
Here's where not having the flexibility is coming back to haunt.
Exactly. So, how would you think about going through the like offensive Rhine against the Sigma? Not favorable, I guess.
I mean, now it doesn't matter. You have to full hold. No matter what comp you run, I think you're too vulnerable. But
I mean, on the attack. Like,
on the attack.
Maybe Ram with the Lucio.
Yeah, but that we don't know that they've practiced Ram, right?
I mean, like knowing Mag, I think Mag knows how to play Ram though. Like,
yeah, it just feels like this is a team that doesn't. They can't play the Sigma, so they're trying to play counter. I don't think the Reinhardt is very good on that first point. Like, to get in is so difficult.
I still do think that if with the Mei, maybe with Yaki's Mei, might have been, I guess.
Maybe.
They can single out the Sigma, just like as long as the Sigma's gone, like.
But I mean, that's also like Max was doing a really good job of like spacing, right? Like, I don't think you were going. Even if you ran May, I don't think that you were going to be able to isolate Max.
Okay, fair point.
Because every fight that they pushed onto Max, where they were able to just like quote unquote put him out of position, he was in the right position to like have the rest of his team collapse.
And honestly,
that might
into that comp.
go
go
on,
ahead.
go on. Because Lee
Let's say
Chagon's
into
gone.
that-
Sorry.
It's okay. We can focus on the fight.
I mean, map's over.
Map's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Griffey. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. I was gonna say into that comp, that they were facing whenever it failed the first time around. I would have liked to see them maybe swap to something like a Symmetra, and just try and put a lot of pressure onto the back line and just really rush down that Ashe. And just because they were trying with the Doomfist, but it just wasn't getting in because the Ashe was doing such a great job of spacing. But I think maybe being able to TP just directly on top and really disrupt might have gotten them a little bit more space.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty valid point, and also I still can't help thinking that like another like if the dive doesn't work, like if the Ashe is really gonna be the problem, I think with like any some kind of anchor, maybe even a Risa with a poking composition might have like worked a little bit better than right now. Maybe like even just having a Risa with a Baptiste, maybe even the Hanzo would have worked a little bit better. But again, these teams know what's best for them, so this is just us speculating what might have been. Like we're just like theory crafting. But yeah, I just can't help thinking that like Avril was mentioning earlier, and also LaFawn pointing out that the flexibility issues from Runaway is starting to cost them a little bit, and we'll see how that goes because we're seeing. Remember, this is a first to 3, and this map is tied so far, so we're at least going for a map 4. So at least, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Yaki, he could have taken notes from the game before where swap to Widow, one tap, swap off. Just get them first point for free. Yaki giveth and Yaki taketh away.
Hi OJ09T3. We actually already went through Hamster's matches, so they are on my VOD, which today's match will already also be on our VOD as well.
I will say the Hamster games will end up getting watched anyway. The one because 815 hasn't been played yet.
Yes, correct.
So.
5, 4.
Wait, was Kellen playing Hamster?
1.
I don't. No, we haven't watched Kellen.
Yeah, we haven't watched.
We haven't watched them at all. Yeah.
Okay.
No, Hamster is one of the teams that are playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
Proper and Stalker and Fearless and a couple other players.
Yeah, Proper stuck because it's Hanbin, Kyo, Fielder.
I guess you could say X Dallas Fuel plus Stalker, plus Proper and Stalker, and that's faster.
So it was basically Team Korea without Sparkle.
And Lit.
Yep, pretty much. That's correct. Good nade by Gangnam Jin, but still, the pressure from OT High School is there to.
I mean, I will say this.
Point.
I don't think because map number 4 it ends up being what? Like what map type? It's push, right?
Let me check on that real quick. Yes, push.
I think for Runaway, they have to be really lucky that they got to this point of the tournament without running into a Sigma team.
Well, I mean, they did, but not a team that can run Sigma to this level.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just outskilled them in the other maps, but here they're actually finding someone that can compete on even terms with them. And
Like remember, even if you are at a composition disadvantage, if you're just like mechanically just better,
Yeah.
like you still win. Like if I play Sigma, I am not gonna win against Mag.
Let me link your YouTube channel
Oh, okay.
to the chat so that they can find it.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Max is going for the Junker Queen. Ooh, good knife there. And that's gonna be a juicy Carnage onto the side of Runaway. Runaway is running low. Gangnam has to commit the narrow just to keep Lee Jae-gun alive. Lee Jae-gun actually pays dividends here because they are taking down Barvel. And this fight, oh, maybe a step too much. But no, okay, in the end, happy ending for Runaway. So they invested a lot, but in the end, they got what they came here for. It was overtime, so if they lost this fight, this was first point going on the side of OT. I keep saying O2 Blast. It's O2 High School, but
Yeah.
But the problem here is that O2 High School, it has a lot of tools that are coming. They just use all of them. But this is the problem. The Runaway doesn't have the means to answer any of these ultimates used by O2 High School because they used everything, almost everything before the fight before. And first point goes to Arena, goes to the side of O2 High School. Yeah, notice how do we don't see a Golem just use the anti-nades anymore? I think it's because I don't know how LaFon thinks. I think it's just because O2 High School just pressures Runaway as a team so much that Golem does not have the space and time to use nades as effectively.
Also, the comp that they're playing against, they don't play in all together. So.
And even in the match against Sin Prisma, Gangnam Jim's nades were not as clutch as they were at the start of the tournament.
Like, I mean, the higher you go, the more you see teams like actually start scouting for cheese plays. Like, I shouldn't say scouting for cheese plays. The more they start scouting just full stop. And like realistically, a couple of nades that happen in those earlier matches should have been scouted on your approach. You should be paying attention to where you're kind of going, and they weren't. So Gangnam just gets more value. Like, they're very flashy and they're cool. They just won't happen as consistently the higher in tier you go.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that Gangnam is really doing a much better showing as flex support. I think he's being in his happy suit right now, but like you said, good point. It's not coming as commonly as we've seen in the earlier stages of the tournament.
They choose to invest in Nanoblade there to buy them the point for now. Those two ults down.
Well, I think it was worth it because OT High School doesn't have a lot of, I guess, necessarily that much to take back the point. Yeah, Lee Jae-gun will be answering with this. Rally probably in a little bit of trouble, but not too much. Yaki using the recall to come back. Heesang probably down means that this fight is going on the side of Runaway. And Hisu will be having the overclock. And it's going to be a race between whether the Rampage is going to be as effective. Because Runaway has to be really careful here because there's not a lot of defensive ultimates that can counter the Rampage from Max. And Max is a really good Junker Queen. Overtime is triggered.
Man, this is really good cycling aggression from O2 High School.
Oh!
Like, Hisu has no one to shoot at. And that's actually such a cheap fight. It's just sound barrier.
Yep, it's just sound barrier, and Runaway had to use the overclock and the primal rage. So, again, Max didn't even use the Rampage. I don't think there's any ult that can answer the Rampage. Like, pending how this fight goes, they might even not have to use this Rampage and use it on the next fight. Overtime, this time in favor of O2 High School. Yeah, look like this. Hisong used the pulse bomb to take out Yaki or Mac. I didn't see the kill feed, but Max didn't. Like the important thing is that Max didn't even have to use the rampage. He can just use the rampage just for the next one, like at the start of the next fight, so they can have control on the point. And it is map point for the side of OTL High School.
O2 just getting so much value here out of their ultimates and just out of these fights in general. Playing very patient, and really well coordinated. Like they're using their stuff smartly or not using it. And just getting a lot of value here.
All right.
Nano Monkey coming in.
Well, I mean.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Nano Monkey was effective. They, OTU High School dropped a few members, but in the end, it was a good amplification matrix and also a very good rampage from Max to kind of like it didn't necessarily like kill like 4 or 5 people, but it chalked them down. It kind of like chopped them down at least to a point where the follow-up damage was there to take the eliminations, make the eliminations happen.
Something that's really interesting is that O2 High School can change just one character to like entirely invalidate the entire comp that whatever that Runaway wants to run, which is really funny. Like they were running Doomfist, so they had the Sombra. They switched to Winston. Proby wasn't getting a ton of value. They switched over to a Sojourn, and instantly so much more useful. And this is because like defining value with the Junker Queen against both the Doomfist and the Winston comp.
Yes.
Why are we? Why? Oh, I guess it's map point. Never mind. I didn't realize the percentage. They have to use everything.
And so, like, to elaborate on your point, LaFawn, I think OTU, one of OTU High School's like most, I guess, strongest points is that they're making good in-game changes, in-game decisions as they go. Like, yes, if like both team, I think if I'm not mistaken, both teams have a coach, and it's just like. Yes, making adjustments like between maps is really important, but making the necessary adjustments that you have like during the match is like I would say at least equally or even more important. And like you said, they're making the changes necessary. That just means that they know what their win conditions are, how their win conditions change as their opponent kind of changes their approach, and then adjust their play, their strategy to coordinate like their new win conditions. Like I think that's sort of real, and considering how young these players are, I think that's really impressive.
And this is now match point for O2 High School.
Correct.
We had to push
Yeah.
next.
To your point, Unknown, that's just shows really good coaching there. Having the players understand their win conditions and knowing what to swap and who needs to swap in order to achieve what you need to deny. I think it really shows that O2 is coming in with a good understanding of the meta and what their strengths are and what the enemy weaknesses are as well.
Yep.
Also,
And
this is the only map that Runaway can pick. You're not going to you're not going to New Queen Street, and you're not going to Colosseo.
You can't. Like Colosseo, if you pick Colosseo, I would kind of like check their accounts. All of them are for real. I would maybe have expected a Winston here, but they're opting to go with the Doomfist. Maybe because of, I guess, maybe psychological reasons, mental reasons, because I think they've enjoyed the most success when they were playing the Doomfist.
And also, O2 has shown that they have a good.
Oh, good sleep on Bliss.
Very good.
I don't think get the kill though. No.
Yeah, they don't have
Does
enough.
Force Immortality field? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say there's a small opportunity, but no, they take down DJ Gon, so this is over.
This is going to be so much pressure to Runaway, and even with Gangnam Jinglai, that is going to be the initial push going towards O2 High School's way. I just can't help thinking that this is a comp difference here. I mean, of course, comp difference is not going to be the only thing that's like making the difference between these two teams. It's just that Mag. Wait a minute. Mag. Mag. My boy.
Just go with like 1v3. Yeah, he actually does.
What is? I mean, Gangnam Jin has the angle on him. Maybe. Yeah, he does, but
He does.
I mean, they have a
But-
May. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever.
But so, what was that about checking accounts? You were saying?
No, maybe, but I think this is kind of like I think this is kind of like more of a mental issue because they're obviously on match point, right? Maybe
Yeah.
they're getting a little bit I wouldn't say nervous, but they're kind of like getting hasty a little bit.
Mhm.
And Mag is changing to the Winston, which I thought that would have been like the first, I guess, choice instead of the Doomfist. And
I mean, it's still so difficult to play Winston into this specifically.
true. Like this is why I thought they were gonna be something like the maybe Ramacha. I think would have been okay, especially in this map and composition. Again, maybe it is the issue of not getting enough scrum practice on that specific composition.
He's finding a nice pick though.
But I don't think it's going to change the grand picture, like bigger picture things. A Mac taking. Oh. Okay, Runaway stabilizing, but it's still required a Nano from Gangnam Jin. Like yes, if you just look at a all trade perspective, I think like yes, the flux was used. So if you
I mean, you're trading Flux for Nano, and you're gonna switch anyway because they're on Winston.
I think that's
Yeah.
still a losing trade.
It's a well for Runaway, 100%.
Yeah.
Like for O2, it's like we're just looking for an opportunity to go Junker Queen. So, you know. Yeah, that's so rough.
And
Yeah,
also,
forward spawns again.
I believe that Gangnam Jin would have probably wanted to save that Nano for the Nano Blade, or the Nano Sojourn, or the Nano
Yeah.
Overclock. Oh. Okay, so that was a good. Oh, Gangnam Jin is going to fall. And he's trying his best. Oh, Mag! Actually trying his best. And they actually clear a fight. Wait, I need to see this fight again. Wait, a little bit more.
These are just a bunch, like it's just ult for ult trade.
Oh, oops. Wait, sorry. How much do I need to go back?
I think like 4 seconds. A little bit further.
Yeah.
So Gangnam Jin falls here. Okay.
Yeah, they did Gangnam Jin fall immediately, but
So good coordination
So
from
do-
Mac, Hisu, and
yeah.
Yaki.
I mean, they also use Nano Overclock, well, not Nano, Rally Overclock Primal.
yeah.
And then there's and everything that is used by O2 High School, they're switching characters anyway. Like the only alt trade that they're like that was like actually genuinely responsive was the sound barrier, right?
Pretty much. Immediate response. Oh, and
Shout.
shut down.
That shout was so well timed from Max to keep Battle alive plus the peel from the Lucio.
Hey, that was almost as effective as a sound barrier. Ooh, good sleep.
Winston into a Junker Queen that can hit or dive is so sad.
Uh-huh. All right, Hisu. Oh. Oh. That dot damage actually did enough to take down Mag. So finally, they're taking
I mean,
away
these
that.
trades are still so rough for Runaway though, right? Because like they have to
Yeah.
like reset the bot all the way back to center. It's not. This doesn't really earn them anything. They don't really have priority position on the high ground either. It cost just the rampage from Max. Like you're not actually gaining anything here if you're Runaway.
Yeah, they spent so much for what, 4 meters?
Yeah, about that's about right.
Oh, at 10 meters, but yeah.
Oh, what a flank!
Ganglam,
Gangnam
poor
just
Gangnam
dead.
Jin.
Yeah.
Just O2 has so much control in the neutral.
This is just stagger at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a cheap fight. Use amplification matrix, and that's it.
I think they really have a good understanding. O2 High School has a really good understanding of like the positional awareness of where everyone is, where I need to be in order to kind of like mess this up, right? Mag uses a primal rage, but it's not in it's not in a position. Oh, he does live to save the day. But Lee Jae-gon may not be so fortunate. Lee Jae-gon is at okay. Hisu actually there to save the day. There was so low, and I guess it's fortunate and also credit to Runaway to like invest in a very dire situation where I think a lot of teams would have just folded and decided not to use ults. I think this is one of the first fights that actually, like Runaway got value out of an ult trade. Yes, they did use one more ult than O2 High School did, but like I think this is like one of the first times they're actually getting meaningful progress. Oh, he's.
And I think, I think what's important for them here is they actually won, and they had pressure still, so they were actually able to set up. But it looks like O2 is just gonna once again show their map awareness, go around the back, get a really good flank, and then just win this fight right off the neutral, barely spending anything other than the rampage.
Yeah, I think
Mag can't do anything. Mag literally is.
And here comes the
Yeah,
swap.
he's like making switches
Yeah.
to right now, but it's too little to like. At no point do you see Mag engaging. He's always at the mercy of what his opponent wants to do, and the only time he has any impact in the match at all is like when he's in primal rage, which is not ideal.
of course.
And he's jumping in, but he's relegated to one hop, fight for his life, and do everything he can to survive and get out. He's not actually able to put any pressure.
Wow. So I think the only I think the only world where Runaway wins fights right now is Hisu's making an early pick, and which is not happening. Well, I mean, which is very hard to do considering that the opponent has all the angles, right? They are in control of all the terrain, all the good angles. Bliss with the early aggression. I think this is gonna be this might be a full cap.
Faithless jumped out of the immortality field to die. That's so funny.
So Mag is finally matching the queen again, and maybe it took so long. Yes, correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was like 3 fights ago when he switched to Reinhardt. I'm like, just at this point, like the Rein's gonna do nothing, just mirror, even though you haven't practiced it.
Ooh, good headshot. So that was also an overclocking Hisu. Good timing from Max on the rampage. They knew that Lee Jae-gon was using the sound barrier and it was expiring. So like as the sound barrier was almost decaying, I can't say enough good things about O2 High School right now. And at this point, I think like the morale is just like
I mean, this would be the greatest. Like, if Runaway were to return, just like it would literally be the greatest comeback we've ever seen in professional play. for like competitive play on push.
Okay, this is actually a decent rampage from Mag, and this is probably what's gonna keep them from the full hold. But remember, we only have 15 seconds left. Hisong, delaying that even more. This is gonna be the comeback of all time. Hello?
They literally have to wait to get everyone alive so that they can fight together in close proximity.
So they're waiting for everyone to come back.
They're waiting for Gangnam to respawn because keep in mind, they have to stay on the bot the whole time. So the awkward thing is, no matter where this fight happens, you will never have high ground control again if you're Runaway. This
is gonna be rough.
You need a miracle. You need a miracle here if you're Runaway.
Oh!
And you are not getting it.
This is gonna be the nail on the coffin. They didn't even need that. All right, that is GG's.
All right, that's the lower bracket setup for Runaway.
Yep. Whew, that was quite a match. I mean, yes, like I think Runaway in general, like when they're winning, when they're on winning terms, I think they're still a good team, right? It's just that they have very clear weaknesses, and OTO High School just exposed a lot of them, like in a very, I guess, in a very, I guess, explicit way, for lack of a better word. I just wanted to kind of show you the bracket so far. So this is what the bracket looks like. Of course, spoiler alert. So OTU High School won Runaway 3-1. We will be. Oh, sorry for the spoiler, but we will be going. We will be looking at exploring Team 815's matches tomorrow. So we'll definitely be working on watching some of these matches tomorrow. But important thing is that top 3 teams will be advancing to the global LAN tournament that is going to be in Seoul. These 2 teams, OTU High School and Hamster, are already guaranteed LAN tickets.
Yes.
Which also means that 3 of Team 815, Isohan, Runaway, and Poker Face will not be there. Just let that sink in for a moment. Team 815, amazing roster. Decay, Tracewan, Kellen, Faith, MCD Develop, all Overwatch League talent. Isohan, Ons, Pelican, Kalios, Chorong, Vigilante. Ons, Kalios, we have Merit and someone on the bench right now because they're playing in Saudi Arabia right now. These 2 players may come home and not have a team to play in. Not have a place to play in Seoul. Runaway. We've been running through this. Hisuyaki, Mag, Lee Jigon, Gangnam Jin may not be there. Poker Face. This is like a contenders, quote unquote contenders team. Look at this roster. Hidden Finale, Valentine, Bells Freya, Peppy, Lego Car Simple. Does this look like a contenders team to you? Like, yes, half of it. But there's so many Overwatch League talent and Overwatch League level talent. Like even Poker Face that has been like in the contenders scene. This team has battled a lot of Overwatch League teams in the Overwatch League Opens and Overwatch League Knockouts and have won several of them. And only one of these 4 teams will be allowed to go to the global LAN in Seoul. How did the Smurfs? Well, let's just say, let's go O2 Hamster. Yeah, O2 versus Hamster is gonna be a banger. Like they have nothing to fight for, maybe for me except for seeding rights, but still, it's still gonna be a banger. The biggest upset is Smurfs being knocked out already. Yeah, Smurfs is actually knocked out. They're gone. Well, let me just give them a tribute here. Birdring, Prophet, Smurf, Violet, Izayaki. How many championships do they have? Like, I mean, I'm not kind of like trying to roast them or anything. It's just like this kind of like shows how competitive this tournament is right now. How did the mob spawn out? I haven't checked it. I just know that that they did. I haven't checked the replay codes yet. Did we see the Smurfs 815? We will be covering 815 tomorrow, so the VOD will it will be there tomorrow. I do think Prophet is always center. I have no knowledge of that, and I am very cautious to comment on that matter, so I do not know about that. Yeah. Anyway, so this is like a very, very like interesting bracket right now, and we don't know who's going to be like going up. And well, any thoughts, LaFon, Griffey?
I mean, we're getting to the part of the bracket that's like hyper competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the best part is now, like, I mean, obviously, earlier on, we get to have some fun in terms of like how the games go because there's some silly things that happen, but like, there's going to be like genuinely great gameplay that is like we're able to actually hyper analyze, which I think is going to be really fun once we get into the next couple of days.
Yeah. Griffey, how about you?
Yeah, same feelings, honestly. It was good to see a match that was not a 2-0 or a 3-0 in this final one. Actually got a little bit of back and forth. And it was really cool to see Runaway and O2 game and the adaptation that O2 was making. Just like LaFawn was saying, we actually get to analyze some higher level Overwatch and see these adaptations and see these players actually, you could see them thinking mid game. And
Yeah, no worries. Go ahead. Like, take your time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that we even haven't seen the entirety of O2 High School yet. Like, I just realized that there's Prophet, there's Viper.
Yeah, I mean, in
there's
fairness, the O2 High School is likely going to have the same like rotation of DPS or rotation of their subs as they did back when this was the O2 Blast Core. And I don't think the map pool really favors Prophet, Viper, and Junbin specifically in this meta.
I mean, if you want to run a Tracer, maybe Viper is a fairly good Tracer.
Yeah, but he's saying also has that covered, right? So it's like Heason gives you more flexibility because Heason can play like the traditional flex, as a Tracer, and also can play like
maybe Circuit Royale, maybe.
Yes, that would be like where we would expect to see, Prophet step in maybe. But other than that, it's I think this is like a meta thing. So yeah, this is basically the heyday of O2 Blast, like of 2022, right?
Yeah, that's why I keep calling them O2 Blast, but
yeah. Old habits die hard, right?
Coliseo's not even in the map pool.
I'm sorry?
Coliseo's not even in the map pool.
Only
East
Esperanza and New Queen Street.
Yep.
Thank you, us. Yep. That concludes today. Thank you everyone for coming. I just wanted to remind you that this is going to be also on my VOD, on the YouTube channel. If it will take about like a few hours to process, and even after it comes up, like for it to be like an HD quality or something like that, it's gonna take a little bit longer, a tad longer. So probably expect like in the next 4-5 hours ish. But but definitely if you want to see some parts of it again, feel free to do so. Also, if you want to make clips of this, of the VOD, please do so at your will. And just leave in comments if there's anything that you want. I can't guarantee everything, like every request to be there, but I can try. Like LaFawn's gonna be co-hosting with me the entire time, unless he has really something like super busy going on. So we can try to work out something that makes you guys happy, because making you guys happy was like the point from all this. And also, a quick reminder that next weekend, so that means December 2nd and 3rd on KST, there will be a Korean broadcast of the latter stages of the knockouts. Unfortunately, there will not be an official English co-stream. I think Avril wants to co-stream. So I will definitely endorse him to do so. Regardless, I will have like a VOD review of these matches as well, to bring you a little bit more, I guess, matches in English. Anyways, thanks for coming in. Thank you, LaFawn, Griffey, for having me today. It was so fun having, and Griffey, great to be in a call with you for more than an hour for the first time in forever. We go back, we go back quite a long time. So just to TMI, Griffey was he wasn't teaching at my school when I was a student there, but Griffey, long after I graduated, he was teaching at my alma mater. So that was a kind of like a like a pleasant coincidence there. So good to have you here, and of course, hey, I just wanted to point out that if anyone needs a freelance caster, LaFawn, you've seen LaFawn talk, you see, he's the guy for you and your esports event. If you need any staff members for your team, Griffey is always there. We are all looking for jobs here at this esports winter here. So if anyone sees any opportunities, give them a big shout out, because these are one of the greatest, best, good people in esports that I've met. So shout out to them, and shout out to you, chat. Let me know if you need anything. Of course, I am doing this on a side thing. After I get back from my job, so it's kind of challenging, but at the same time, I'll try to do as best as I can, because I love Overwatch. I love Overwatch esports. I love the community that it makes. So I try to make you guys happy as possible. But that's probably I've spoken too long. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for the stream, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.